Alright, when we left off, you guys had just completed an adventure in the sewer and managed to kill off a odd, giant, six-legged rat creature and then entrap its heart within a puzzle box.
Which is going to stay in my basement.
Yes, say that later. There was, of course, a magical ring retrieved from said rat, which went to the resident rogue. There was also a small amount of coins found and the remains of a mysterious humanoid. You're not certain if it was human or not, but definitely human-like in its overall size and body structure. Which you reported to the town guard, to the captain of the night watch, and then you went and spoke to your master, as it were, and revealed that the finding of the corpse, learned that one of the strange message that you found hidden on the body was written by a local. I have given you the piece of paper over there.
That was the lady at the other end.
Christine Vanderhorn.
Yeah. But you guys managed to get back together at the inn for a few more drinks before going off on your separate ways. But before you could actually part ways, a person, you're not certain as to who yet, stumbled quite literally into the inn and then promptly fell flat onto the floor, apparently unconscious. And that's where we left off.
Would you say that they look drunkenly unconscious or like exhaustion?
They appeared apparently drunk to us, but we don't know.
They're just laying face down on the floor.
I'm on it. I'll jump up and go over to the fallen person.
Alright, you go over there and they're quite heavy. How strong are you?
Not.
Okay, give me a strength check.
I'll go over and help.
Not too bad.
Okay, so your brother's helping you. You
Okay.
got advantage.
14.
Alright, you managed to roll him over. It takes a little bit of doing though, because
Leverage.
he's quite heavy and just kind of dead weight. But you managed to get him rolled over, and you see that it is a farmer that you recognize. And he's got a massive set of wounds across his chest. At first you think maybe there's 4 long dagger cuts or sword slices, but then you realize that the pattern and everything, it looks like a claw mark that pretty much takes up from the upper part of his chest down to almost his belly button, a row of 4 deep claw marks, and he's just kind of bleeding out onto the floor.
Shit. I will cast Cure Wounds on him.
Someone needs to alert the guard.
Okay.
I think we should check outside and see if that creature is. You
You do that. I'll do this.
should check and see if that creature's outside.
Let's.
Lukien, do you want to go first?
Heal him.
This guy's been scratched by some big beast.
Was he down in the sewer? Was he in the sewer?
No, I just came in through the door. Come on.
I'll check his boots while I'm patting him down and look for other injuries. Did his boots look sewagey?
No, but they are caked in mud and earth.
Oh, yeah.
He's not from the sewers!
The 3 of you kind of wander outside, Lukien kind of staggering drunkenly behind you, completely oblivious to what's going on. You look around in the street, and there's nobody out there. This time of night here in Stromberg, after the sun is set and everything, it gets really quiet. All the shops are closed. There's another tavern that's down by the docks that you can hear even from here is a little bit rowdy, but that's fairly common. But otherwise it's pretty dark. The only light you see is from the various lampposts that are scattered fairly far apart along the thoroughfare.
Can we see where he came from? Is there any blood on the ground?
That's actually what I was gonna ask.
Was recent tracks that have been raining? Or any kind of weather recently?
No, not any more than normal. It's been pretty dry the past for about a day or two now.
Okay, is there any horses hitched up in front? No. Okay.
Well, technically, yes, yours.
Mine. Does it look scared? Like it's seen something?
You guys want to make survival checks to see if you can find any tracks?
Good at survival, but yes, I would love to try. Oh,
Yeah, that's why I was
60.
18?
No.
Hey.
18.
All right.
Hey.
The three of you immediately kind of together, you just kind of scan the area for an immediate threat. Then all three of you kind of look down at the ground, and you do see on what would be otherwise dry cobblestone, little drips and splashes of blood that he basically left behind as he came in down the street from outside of town.
Do we want to go investigate this trail and see if the creature's wherever he came from?
I'm gonna pop back into the inn first. It's like, Kira, is he okay?
Speaking of which, meanwhile, while they are outside,
He would have healed to a max. I forgot to say that. Grave domain. So
Right.
he would have healed for 11 instead of 9.
he comes conscious down in front of you, lying on the floor. He just kind of looks up at you a little bleary-eyed. It's his old man O'Leary is basically most people really know him as. He moved here about 10 years ago from Calmoria. He's a big guy. He's single as far as you know, no wife or children or any family members in the area that you are aware of. But he's just always been a very big, jovial kind of guy. Doesn't do a lot of drinking. He comes into town from time to time to participate in celebrations, but otherwise kind of keeps to himself. When you do meet him, he's friendly. But he just kind of looks up at you with his thick kind of red, curled, matted beard and kind of deep green eyes. He's like, I've never seen anything like it, and it took my cow.
That's terrible. Why don't you sit up and have something to drink? And I'll hand him a water spoon.
Takes water. He's like, oh, that's good. He kind of sits up. At this point, your brother comes walking back in.
It took his cow, whatever it was.
Like, so at his farm?
Yeah, he's a farmer. This
Right,
is.
was it at your farm? So it was at your farm then, right?
Yeah, just on the just outside of town here.
Kira, if he's okay, do you want to go check this out and take care of it? What does it look like?
It was big. I'm pretty sure it was a bear.
Bear.
It had to have been a bear. I've never seen anything with claws like that.
Can I make a survival medicine check to see if these look like bear claw wounds? Because it'd basically be 5,
Nature.
right?
Nature.
Nature, see if anybody's been mauled by a bear. Oh, that's a no. Okay. That'll be a 2.
You're pretty sure it was something much bigger than a bear.
Could I make
Maybe a
nature
dragon
as well?
or maybe a troll.
2 bears.
Maybe
My
two
Two bears in a trench coat?
Oh no.
Sound better. Okay. Well, we'll go take a look at your farm and we'll see if we can find your cow.
Don't go out there. Not yet. You should get the guard.
I have the guard. I've got one right here, right outside.
As he kind of sways a little bit.
Go on, Luke, and pats him. Almost falls over. Oh, I got you, sorry.
You guys are still outside though, you're not
Okay.
hearing this, right? Yeah.
So he kind of gets up, goes over and sits down at one of the bar stools. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want you to get hurt there, little missy.
Well, we'll just take a look. We'll just take a look. Speaking of which, you're gonna need to look for a new tunic.
He's like, Yeah. Some red curly chest hairs sticking out from various slashes.
Here, why don't you stay here? Stay here for the night, just so, cause it'll be safer. And I'll get up to the barkeep.
This whole time, he's just kind of been
Standing there watching.
standing there watching,
Nice.
interested.
All right, I'll pull out one of my a gold piece. Should that be enough?
He's like, don't worry about it.
Okay. We'll go take a look at the farm and see what we can find.
Get hands the old farmer a key. The halfling just kind of looks at you. He's like, be careful out there. I mean, look, it's nearly killed him.
But we don't get to where you are without doing things.
Yeah, you also don't get to where I am by being dumb.
That's okay. I have Kurt for that.
What?
Kurt's smart. Let's go fight a bear! I'm gonna walk out the door. Guys, it's a bear or a dragon. One of the two.
Well, those are massive.
Nope,
So, Kurt,
really
what
big
is it?
claws.
The guy said he thought it was a bear, but
Possibly two bears. Because
I-
one took a cow. And the cow's really heavy. They would have had to carry it out.
It's true.
did the blood trail look like it came from where his farm is? Do we know where his farm is?
Yeah, actually, his farm is not very far from here at all. Maybe 200-300 yards.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the inn is close to the entrance into town, and his farm is literally right outside of town.
Which makes sense if this is where he came first.
Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna hitch my horse and get on my horse. Let's go.
I will help balance him.
Slightly leaning to the left.
Slow.
Don't drink and ride, Luke.
All right, so you guys are making your way through
I guess
the.
if we come across any guards, we'll let them know. But I'm assuming the guardhouse is not on the way since it's so close.
There might be a couple of guards on patrol. I mean, you don't really see a lot of incidents around here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they have wandering guards at night, but there's no wall around the town. So they don't have like a gatehouse or anything like that where guards would normally be posted. They just kind of do a wandering patrol.
Right.
This time of night, you would not be, and with the rowdiness that you hear from down closer to the docks, you would not be surprised if almost all of the guards are currently down there.
Okay. So yeah,
Well,
it'll probably be better if we deal with it
Dealing with the
ourselves.
drunken sailors.
Yeah. Alright.
Picking up where we left off, you guys leave town and begin making your way towards the farm. Every once in a while, seeing splotches of blood on the cobblestone, and then eventually in the loose earth that basically makes up the roads outside of town. Following along, you begin to hear the sounds of local wildlife, mostly insects, a handful of night birds every once in a while, but for the most part, relatively quiet through here. Some of the farms, every once in a while, you will hear farm animal or maybe a group of younger folk basically enjoying the warmer night air, which is not very common at this particular time of year. It's kind of mid-late spring.
But oh, those summer nights.
But you do get to the farm, and looking about, you walk up and you find that the split rail fence that was meant to keep the cattle inside has been sundered. One of the rails being completely smashed in half. The other one kind of just knocked off kilter. You see blood spattered all across right outside of the barn.
Boom.
I will cast light on my buckler, on my shield,
Okay.
and kind of walk forward.
I'll cast mage armor.
Okay.
Swart.
I'll be nervous.
I
And
would guess at this point you guys don't have a whole lot of spell slots left since you guys haven't had a long rest since the giant rat encounter.
You do it.
I have a full spell slots.
Oh, you
Since I
do?
just got level 2 spells, does that mean that I have full level 2 slots?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
But you wouldn't have any prepared level 2 spells.
No.
You haven't prepared those for yet for today.
But you
But
just
you have the
cast the
slots
higher
that you
level,
can
right?
use to cast
What's
the.
that?
You can just
Yeah, I
cast
can-
the first level spells to higher slot.
Yeah?
But,
And we got Hellish Rebuke.
Oh.
but looking about, where's your plan? You
Do
don't
we-
see any creatures other than some rather frightening cows pushed back further out into a pasture.
Do we hear anything?
I think
Give me a perception check.
we should count the cows
I will join you in that.
and then check for tracks that aren't cows.
Okay, you guys check the cows. I'll take the horse, check for tracks.
I didn't hear anything over them. I rolled a 6.
I got a 16.
16. Listening very carefully. You don't really hear anything. Slight shuffling of the cows.
Ooh.
Lucian's saddle squeaking.
You know.
As he tries to stay up.
Then you hear something in the distance, like quite a ways from you. Probably just due west of here, towards the mountains.
Do I have any
But it's
idea?
probably a little ways away.
But I have no idea what it is. I think I hear something way off to the west towards the mountains, or east, west, yeah. But I don't know what it is. I don't even know if it's related to this.
Is it clear or is it like through the forest?
Yeah, through the forest.
Okay.
Guys, I hear the bear.
What?
Nope, those are cows. Sorry. 15, 16.
So
He has
if it's-
23 cows there.
So almost there. 18, 19. I think I already counted them. Shit. I don't count cows.
You see 23 cows, but you don't know how many cows he actually owns. So
But
if
that's
there are
okay,
any
because
missing,
now I can ask him when we go back if he's missing any more than, how many he actually had. And that way in our report to the guards later, much later, we can accurately tell how much he should be compensated for the lack of vigilance on the guards' part.
Looking
He
at it
lives-
down, it's kind of.
He lives, the inn is right there. You can see the lights. For you, there's probably 2. But the lights are right
If
there.
you said it's me,
Oh, look up
we
in the
should
trees,
probably
see if
make
there's
our
any
way
broken
west and get
branches.
these two
See if this
moving.
thing maybe flew, came down.
Flying sloth, good
give me
idea.
a perception check.
2.
No, matter of fact, you're looking about and there's a large apple tree that's nearby, but it doesn't seem to have anything going on.
Can I look around to see? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can I look to see if there's tracks heading towards, like in the west direction, as Kurt pointed out?
Yeah, you had wanted to look for tracks, so you guys want to roll.
I'll give you your better advantage.
Okay.
Rose are usually known for
I just, yeah, I don't have.
I just make it.
17.
17. Looking about, you do find a set of large tracks. They look, to the best of your knowledge, what you would expect a bear track to look like. But it is huge. It's like, we're talking like this big around.
What do you have?
It's just
I think Kurt was right about it heading west. There's definitely a footprint here, and I think you were right here. It looks like a bear print. It's just
Oh, that's a papa bear.
Yeah, it's
You can tell it's
big. Well,
Called it.
yeah, it looks like he's going.
But it
this
went that way, right?
Can I do a
Is
nature
that one
check?
near town?
Sure.
15.
15. It does, as far as everything that you've seen, it looks like a bear track.
Just a large bear.
Like a really, like you've heard of a creature called a cave bear, which is basically kind of on par with, say, like a dire wolf or like a giant elk, stuff like that. It is a much larger than average bear. However,
Yeah. Not sure how big that
Nothing in town, like ever.
is. Yeah. Okay.
2 questions. One, you said the direction that it went to was into the woods that are next to town, but not towards town.
It's towards heading west
Away.
towards the mountains.
Yeah.
Okay,
moving
away from town. Second question, does it look like it's a 4-legged bear or a 6-legged bear? No, I'm serious. Like, look at the different paw prints. Maybe it has extra legs.
Can I tell how
Yeah.
many legs it actually had?
You had a pretty good check on your survival at a 17. It looks to be 4, as best you can tell. You're not exactly a trained or expert tracker, but you would take between just a guess without even looking, plus the little bit of knowledge that you actually have looking at it. You're pretty sure it's not a 6-legged bear.
Also, that just sounds off.
Yeah.
I think it's got four legs.
No, I've
Kira.
heard of this monster that's a bear with 6 legs and it has antlers. And so I was thinking,
What?
I mean, he
I'll
had
give you
claw
5
marks.
gold if it's that.
Okay.
If it's that ridiculous of a creature, I will give you 5 gold. But
That's
I
up
don't
to
think so.
here. And it has more than 6 legs.
Honestly, I was just making that up. So, Kira is pretty sure she's heard about something like that in one of the stories that she's listened to. Bree was pulling out of her ass. So,
Alright. But yeah, you don't see any immediate danger here. Like, it looks like it has
Left.
done its thing and has left.
I think at this point we should go inform the guards, get some rest, and if we really want to, we can take a look for it in the morning.
Yeah.
Don't know about you, but I'm pretty tapped and tired.
Yeah, that voyage through the sewers wasn't exactly the most fun journey. A little exhilarating, but it was quite painful as well.
Well, if it gets to a river or rocks, we're gonna lose it.
Do we know if there's any real rivers between us and the mountains?
There's a little bit of water here between, there's a big ass lake. There's a particular area that you know that is kind of on the marshy side, where the ground is high enough that it's basically near the lake, where the ground is high enough that it's not settling there, but it's low enough that it's got like a kind of like that mucky swampiness that kind of.
I think we'll be okay to track it because
Especially this time of
It's-
year, as the rivers are a little bit swollen, so overflow its banks a little bit. It'd be a pretty marshy area.
well, it has really big paw prints, and it took a cow, right? And cows are pretty heavy.
Possibly.
So would we be able to see drag marks or blood or both?
Sure.
Plus, how many fingers am I holding up?
Fingers?
Yep. Four! Yeah, he's too drunk for this.
You might be a little too.
I am the law.
Okay, come on, little one. He's still on his horse. I'm gonna just grab the horse in his
I'm gonna
leg.
try and spear an
Yes,
apple as we go by. Try and get an apple.
There's like no apples on that tree.
I'm
It's
waiting
get
for-
too early in the year for
Hungry.
I will pull out a piece of bread from my bag, and I would like to sleight of hand it onto the end of the spear.
It's a bread tree.
Cocked. Oh, nice. Sleight of hand. 21.
Get a slice of bread.
Whoa! Bread tree. Nice.
Bread trees. Yeah.
So, what do you guys do?
Head back to the inn.
Well, we should head back to our respective homes and sleep.
We're gonna have to sneak in because if Adel smells us, she won't let us come in the house.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you truly get locked out, you can always come to sleep.
She won't lock us
Your
out.
house already
Okay.
smells like a sewer. The bottom part, only the bottom part. The upstairs kind of smells like wood and copper pieces.
I'm only slightly offended.
That you guys have already been home to bathe.
Well, then we are just extra on top of it. Go us. Good job, team.
Oh yeah, I think we did that and then we took the tap.
So, meet up at Vic's in the morning.
I guess that works for me.
I will bring sweet rolls.
Alright, so
That works for me.
you guys split off to go your separate directions. You go to basically the barracks where you have like a bunk in there. You just kind of crash out. You go to your own home, walk in the front door, and yeah, you can smell it. The opening, even though you've blocked it a little bit and the door to the basement is closed, it's strong enough that you can kind of smell it, so you know it's going to be an issue. Luckily, you're pretty sure upstairs in your apartment you won't be able to smell it at all, especially if you open up the windows and let a little fresh air in.
And I would like to make sure that I have set that trap down in the basement, preferably somewhere in a corner, out of sight.
Yeah.
Two things.
Hold on. You two make your way back to your home. What did you want to do?
What time is it?
It's like 10 o'clock in the evening.
Fine, never mind. We go home.
So you two trudge your way back across the Stromberg field and into the forest and make your way to the kind of dilapidated manor house. Creep in through the door, make your way to your respective rooms, and unless there's something else the two of you wish to do, settle in for a night's rest.
Hey! I'm gonna go knock on next door.
Okay.
Hey, I found, so like today, we were in the sewers and we were fighting the rats and everything, and everybody was taking damage and getting hit. This like inspiration came to me for a spell, and I think that I could pull it off, but we have to go to a jeweler so I can get rings made up for everybody.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that like
What kind of jewelry? Because I kind of have a little
theme
bit
to
of...
stick to.
Huh?
Huh?
No?
Platinum rings. Basically rings made out of platinum.
Those would be gonna be pricey.
It's okay, I did the math, I have the gold for it.
Okay.
But if I get one for everybody, I don't know what I want to put on everybody's ring. Like, obviously arrows for Vic. But I don't know if I could get a horse on a ring. Like, horses are pretty big.
I don't know, like you could do a little horseshoe symbol, or like the crest.
Ooh, like they're lucky. That's smart.
I don't know.
Horseshoes are lucky. Okay, arrows and
Unless they're upside
horseshoes.
down, then you dump all the luck out. At least what I've heard.
So we'll have to make sure he puts it on his finger right. And then never takes it off ever. We'll buy some glue. What do you want on your ring? Do you want books?
I don't know, I'll come up with something.
Okay. I'm hoping to go tomorrow after we kill the bear.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good night.
Eat.
And I go to my room.
Okay, as you're wandering through the room, or wandering down the hall towards your room, you notice that the shadows kind of close in just a little bit heavier than normal.
Can I stop? Hello?
Ling,
It's-
ling, ling, ling.
Bells! And I will run towards the nearest set of bells.
You go running down the hallway, and you see a side corridor. You kind of switch down that, and then
Is this
another
new?
corridor, and then it ends at a heavy black door at the end of this hallway.
Ooh.
Up above, you see the wired spring that basically coils up above that has like a little bell hanging off of it, completely caked in cobwebs and dust, and you can feel like cold emanating from the door, and it looks wet almost.
First, I want to diddle the dongle on the bell to see if it still rings. I'm gonna clean that one off. And then I would like to use Eyes of the Grave. It's kept undead. It's kind of like, what's on the other side of this door? I touch the door.
Can you actually see through the
Touch-
door?
You touch the door, and as you touch it, it's wet and sticky. You pull your hand back in, it's just black. And then you realize that it's not like black, it's like a red black. Like almost like a blackened blood.
Oh.
And it's sticky. And you can smell the decay. And as you're looking at your hand, you see the door kind of bulge out just slightly. And you go back in.
I'm gonna step back till my back is against the wall, and then I hold out my gross hand and I'll use thaumaturgy to tell the door to open. Cause it's bulgy.
As you reach your hand out, a hand reaches out and grabs your wrist and says, "Some doors are best left closed."
But this one's icky.
And you see Erythraud is standing there. "Now go to bed, clean up."
But I've never seen this hallway before. I've never seen this door before.
"What door?"
That door.
There's no door there.
This door.
It's clean.
This is crazy.
You're obviously very tired.
I killed a
Bet
giant rat today.
That's nice, dear. Go to bed. I am old and tired and would like to sleep.
Okay. My chores for tomorrow, I'll have to do them in the evening. I have to go kill a bear in the morning.
Yes, dear.
Okay, I have to kill a bear. I took the cow. I
Get you
took
to your room.
O'Leary's cow.
That's pretty nice, dear.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
I love you.
I love you too.
Mild disappointment.
She door creaks up and she's like, "I love you too."
I wash my hands in like a side bowl of water that people keep in their chambers when you live in the Dark Ages, and like wash that shit off.
Okay.
Even if it's not there.
Next
So it feels
morning,
sticky.
you guys awaken, feeling refreshed, a little bit better, and any morning rituals that you need to accomplish before
Do I have a
meeting back
salary?
up?
When do I collect my salary?
Every other Friday.
Actually, yeah, pretty much.
Just wondering,
Capitalism. It's the same in every world.
when I'm supposed to collect that, I guess.
It's not a lot.
Yeah. Every little bit helps.
5 gold every other week is about what you get.
Enough to cover the tavern.
Yeah.
In pants.
Taxpayers.
Although, to be fair, the taxpayers are paying you in this situation.
I know,
Because
yeah.
you're a guard.
Yeah. I pay my own salary, pretty much.
There you go. Paying your own way.
I'll just head down to a meeting place.
Alright.
Wipe down, or not wipe down, but it's not the word for it, but
Brush down.
brush down my horse and get my saddle and my extra spear. I did also have a question. Did anybody else, like, from the town notice that I'm carrying around Johann Storm's shield?
It looks like an antique shield to everybody else.
Okay.
Because it was the standard issue of the military several decades.
Oh, my great grandpa had
Couple
that.
hundred years ago.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. He's turned it up to kind of like a retro look.
Yeah. It's pretty hip.
Yeah. A historian would probably like, do bad things in their pants for it.
Yeah,
So that's cool.
I've heard stories.
So how about you?
I don't really have much to do, and since they're going to meet up here, I guess I don't really need to open up shop in the morning, so I'll just wait for them.
Okay.
I would like to grab sweet rolls and hit up the jeweler real quick.
Alright.
How are you gonna do that after?
But if I die, then
So we won't need it.
yeah. But if it's less coin to carry,
BFF rings.
yeah,
How we
something
know
to
we're
remember
partying.
me by. So pop into the jeweler.
What about you?
I will just wait for my sister, so basically follow her. Like I'm not gonna go ahead.
Okay.
I don't have anything I need to do that I know of.
You need to eat some of the sweet rolls we bought.
So you swing by the one of the local jewelers and step inside and you see this middle-aged woman, nicely dressed. Her hair is pulled back very neatly into like a thick braid that is then wound around into a bun on the back of her head, and she's got a set of spectacles sitting on the end of her nose as she's kind of going over a thing of gemstones in like a little velvet case. velvet-lined case. She sees you, throws a cloth over it, and is like, "Can I help you?"
Hi. Yes, I hope so. Do you do any work with platinum?
From time to time.
I'm hoping to get some platinum rings made up for me and my friends.
Oh,
About,
really?
I mean, if I need them to be worth about 50 gold each.
Well, that won't be
Even
difficult.
platinum, it's pretty expensive. So, I was wondering how much that would run me.
Well, it depends. Or you just need a simple, plain platinum band, or is it something else that you were requiring?
Plain?
You need gemstones, engravings.
I think engravings would be nice. I want to put on one of them, I want a horseshoe pointed up. And
Wow.
then
Which way would be up?
the on way. The side you put the
I
finger
tell you what, I will
through.
just.
It's the same on each side.
Sure. And she takes a little piece of paper and writes it down.
And that's for a man finger.
You know what size?
I'll find out.
Okay, that'd be a good idea.
Okay. And then the other one is also for a man finger. And I was hoping to get an arrow on that one.
Okay, she writes it down. In what size?
I'll get back to you on that one. I should be able to have it to you within like an hour.
I tell you what, once you have the information, come back to me.
Can I pay now? I might lose my money where I'm going to. I'm kind of worried. Don't tell my brother.
Okay, so what are the other two?
One of them is gonna be fancier than the others. Because I want it, can you put words on the inside?
Yes.
Okay. I want to put words on the inside of one. And on the outside, I want to put... Do you know what Istariel's holy symbol looks like?
I do not.
And I pull it out. Looks like this. Could you put this on a ring?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
An engraving, or would you like it to be made?
Just like in like if you were drawing in the dirt, it would be any.
An engraving?
Yes.
Okay.
And then another ring with the same holy symbol on the outside, but no engraving on the inside.
Okay. And what do you want it engraved on the inside?
My favorite brother.
That's all this time.
Can you put it in infernal? I can write it down for you.
In that case, yes. Good. She kind of gives you a little bit of a side eye.
Infernal's not a respected language in polite.
But it's like code. Pretty nice.
I already agreed to do it.
Okay. She will pull out all of her gold and platinum. So how much do you think it would be? So if the rings have to cost 50 gold each, right? Plus
I'd
time
say
is
60 gold per
okay.
ring. It'd take me about 3 weeks.
Okay. I have to do 240. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put a down payment down right now, and then when I get back to you with the sizes, I should be able to pay you the rest of it. And I will give her
35 gold.
Huh?
35 gold.
235 gold. Well, I don't have 235 gold. I don't think. Oops. I'm not good at math, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
230. I will give her 232 gold, but I will pay you the rest shortly.
Okay. And she takes it and puts it into a money box.
My name's Kira.
She's like, I know you are. Now, I can't do anything until you get me the information.
Okay. I'll get it for you. Okay. And I will be back later, and I walk out the door.
Alright. So, by about 10 o'clock in the morning, Kira shows up with her brother.
We waited like 4 hours.
Right.
It wouldn't have taken me that long. It'd be like a 10-minute conversation.
The shop didn't open till 9.
You said I went into the shop. You didn't say it was later in the day. Anyway. Lukien probably overslept anyway. He's drunk.
Yeah, that's true.
So you guys get together.
Yes.
Okay. So I have.
Was there a bear on this night?
Yep, we're gonna go fight a bear. That's definitely on the agenda. But also, what size rings does everybody wear? Because I need to know.
6.
6?
Oh no.
Okay. You probably wear like a 10. We'll go with that.
Gonna say
Kurt
right
pulled
now.
out his jeweler's tools, which I'm going to assume has actually got.
You probably got a sizing band on.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And I will get everyone's sizes.
I wear an 8 to give you an idea.
Yeah.
So you would have really tiny hands.
I don't know. 'Cause-
Baby hands.
They're just like
One.
huge.
It looks so big in my hands.
What happened when I was like,
Grandma to a strong hand.
Then I will collect everyone's ring sizes and then grab a receipt paper piece from behind the counter when Vic is not looking and write them down on there.
Vic knows, he's used to it.
And then in informal, I'll write the inscription on the bottom.
Okay.
And then I'll go over to Kurt. Hey, can I borrow 8 gold?
You need more than 8. No, 8 gold, yeah. Yeah?
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 Nice, thank you. Okay. Alright guys, are we ready to fight a bear? We need to leave out of town by the east.
Fine.
West.
West? West.
It went west towards the mountains.
Past the jewelry.
We'll meet you at the gate.
Okay, I'll be really fast. Okay. I'm gonna run out the door.
Alright.
Come back, put the box of donuts down. Or sorry, sweet rolls down. Grab 2. Run out the door, back to the jeweler's. Give her the paper, give her the money. Run to the gate. Probably there before them.
I was just gonna go.
Just wherever the.
That side of town.
Let's meet at the farm.
Yeah, at the farm.
So about 30
Guys,
minutes.
wait for me!
So about 30 minutes later, while you guys are, well, she's gone. About 10 minutes after she goes off to do her thing, you guys make it to the farm. It's really close.
Yeah.
So it only takes you about 10-15 minutes to walk there as you guys are eating sweet rolls and
Chip trot, chip trot, chitty trot, chitty trot. Ah, shit, got shells on yours. Okay. So catch up?
what are you guys doing at the farm while you're waiting on Kira to show up?
Now that it's light, can I do a kind of an investigation of like where it looks like the cow was taken? See if we find anything?
Sure.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Are you trying to figure out where it went? Like tracks? What are you
Well,
You just-
we know it went west. I kind of guess I want
Look at the crime
look for the
scene.
remains of the cow?
to look for remains, see if I can get a better idea, see if it dropped anything. Just,
Okay.
I don't know. Natural 20 for a 26.
Woo-wee!
Following the easily to follow trail of blood and some where basically the grass has been like laid flat and it's just smeared with like blood where the cow is dragged off, and then through the other side of the fence over a little ways you find a basically the leg about from the ankle down, so basically the hoof and just like the about a foot of the leg laying in the grass. The bone completely like broken through. Looks like cleanly bitten.
I found one of the cow legs over here.
While Kurt's doing that, I want to take another look at the tracks and see if they're still like as noticeable as they were last night, and they haven't like faded or somehow disappeared overnight, basically.
Go ahead.
3.
What tracks?
Yeah.
You see the blood, but it's in the light of day, it's kind of chaotic looking, and you know, without that perspective of this right here, with the broader range of vision with light, you're a little bit more easily confused with, and maybe not quite as certain as you was last night.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll give up on that and go join Kurt. You found a leg? Oh God. That's. Ugh. Hey, Lukien, come here. Look what Kurt found.
Oh, it's cleanly cut too. That takes a lot of work.
A lot of strength. Sharp teeth.
Kira's still not here yet. Okay, I'm gonna go get Kira so we don't have to wait around much longer. I'll get on my horse and run back and find Kira just so we're not waiting forever.
Alright, so you're about halfway through town, passing the wolf and shepherd inn as he comes kind of trotting up.
Sorry, somebody had a splinter, and I'm like a professional at that, so I had to.
Liz, this is gonna be a big deal today. If we find this bear,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
huge.
tough.
6 legs
I'm thinking-
and antlers.
I'm thinking trophy.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, why don't you hop on and I'll run back to
I get on Sandy's back.
and we'll gallop. Like actually like murder or go back.
Alright, it takes you like 2 minutes to get back. Man, it was not meant to travel at these speeds.
I have like one hand holding my flowers on, and one hand is like wrapped around Lukien with a death grip. Like, yeah, this is so fun.
It feels pretty good right now.
You're kind of a badass going at a trot.
But you get back and you guys have kind of just been poking around, but you don't really discover anything else. Also, about this time, you see the door to the house, the farmhouse itself, kind of open up, and the farmer kind of comes wandering out and kind of looks at you guys, kind of shields his eyes a little bit. And you guys gonna go hunt for that bear?
Hey, did you have 23 cows? Yeah, we're gonna find the bear.
We had 25 cows.
Okay, it took 2 of your cows, sir.
2?
It must have been a really big bear.
Yeah, the footprints I found last night were pretty big.
Well, I want you to know I could probably live without those 2 cows, and it's not likely you're going to find them anyway.
Well, but you can't live in fear all the time, and that thing could come back for more cows if it thinks that you're like a dinner plate.
Now that it knows there's an easy meal nearby, it's become a danger to the town. I, as the town guard, representing, feel that we need to ride out and destroy this bear, if it's a bear, and for the safety of the town. So, don't worry, we got this.
Alright. I'll try to muster up at least some sort of reward for you when you get back.
Well, I think
Maybe we can get a cow, huh?
Oh, that's something I could definitely do.
you
We
should.
don't need a cow, man.
That would be a pretty good barbecue. You should work on your fence. I think that's going to be a big priority
It's
for you.
definitely on my list of things to do today.
Are you feeling
I
okay?
don't.
Yeah, actually, thank you. I am
Kira,
quite
we're
impressed.
Burton told back here. This is an NPC, okay? This is
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do about the bear. But if you start feeling sick or feverish or anything in the next couple of days, you should come and see us.
Yeah, I'll just head right over to the temple.
Yeah, that's a good idea. They can help you. Okay, we should go. She pulls a half squished donut out of her pocket and eats it real quick.
I guess let's try and see if we can follow the tracks of this.
I'm pretty so
Bear.
far at it, so if one of you is decent at tracking, I recommend you do so.
I can try it.
Well, for the first part of it, really don't require any kind of rolls. It leaves a pretty good trail for you to follow. or at least the start of
It's got
this
big feet.
voyage. Well, it's also a lot of blood.
Oh,
Okay.
and probably a lot
I
of
have
fucking
butchering milk
branches.
in the grass, and it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's not good.
But you guys leave the farms, and by about noon, about 2 hours into this journey, you guys have gone beyond some of the more outer lot reaching farms. You know there are a couple of small farmsteads and stuff that are a little bit further out than this, but generally speaking, you are at this point beyond what is considered the boundaries of the town.
Unincorporated land.
Yeah.
Most definitely
Kind
the farthest of
of
it.
moving through the lightly forested area. There's birds and all kinds of insects that you can hear. The wind through the trees, and it's actually a very pleasant overall day to day. I mean, the sun is out. It's relatively warm, up in like the mid 60s. So and things are turning green. It's pleasant. But also by this point, you're starting to run low on obvious trail markers to follow. You're looking at, every once in a while you'll see like a smattering of blood. You'll find like a chunk of basically like a bone or something that's fresh enough that you can be like, okay, that's probably from what we've been following. But at this point, it's starting to get a little bit more difficult. So who wants to head up the actual tracking portion of this quest?
Or plus 3.
I got nothing.
I got a nothing.
I will hear it.
Let me see. I want to see if I can find a 6-legged bear.
Well, he's got 4 legs,
It
and
might
that's
be
why I'm
easier
here to
to
help
see the
you.
tracks if you ride on a horse. Maybe you want to get a good view, you know. Good.
I do want a good view, but I think I need to touch the mud. I'm gonna look
Yeah,
for,
oh yeah.
I'm gonna look for bloody mud.
That's fine, yeah.
Am I rolling separate or am I rolling with the damage?
Rolling with advantage.
Yeah, go ahead and take advantage on that one.
15?
Yeah, it's actually not too bad. Having some insight as to what kind of tracks you're already looking for, the types of things that you would expect to see, having followed it this far, it really kind of makes it a little easier for you to kind of keep going. And you go for several more hours, pushing well into late afternoon, and you're still following a trail.
Would Kira realize with that roll that it does not have 6 legs?
Yes.
She's kind of gloomy for like the next probably 5 minutes.
But it's starting to get late afternoon, and as you get closer to the mountain, the shadow of that mountain plunges this area into darkness a little bit faster than it would if you were a little bit further away.
Is there? I'm sorry. Is there any like local legends like the 8 caves or any type of?
Actually, there's not a lot of. The lake is actually really popular with campers during the summer period. There's actually a section of it that's even though it's a really good distance away from town. Some of the older teens will make the trek out there to basically have like overnight camping trips and stuff like
Gotta
that.
get with the parents, man.
It's just a thing that they do. It's part of growing up. There's also mines in the mountains that are actually miners will have there's mining camps and stuff. In the direction that you're heading, you're not certain that there's any mines over there. You wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was 1 or 2 older mines in that area, but the current active mines are a little bit further north than where you're actually traveling. Legend-wise, there's all kinds of stories about creatures that live in the mountains themselves, both on top of and underneath.
Okay.
None of which involve a bear.
It's bullshit.
Keep going, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, We might want to make camp soon because we have to make a bear-proof camp, which means we have to put all of our
It's only been,
food.
what? You said it was halfway through the day?
It's late afternoon. at
Late
this point.
afternoon? So like we still have
3 hours maybe?
a few hours, like we don't have to make camp yet.
Okay.
And we might have to camp in the trees.
Well, yeah, we have to make the
What?
camp bear-proof, which normally means you have to put like your food in a bag and then hang it in a tree. But we're kind of food for a bear this day,
Yeah.
so I think we're gonna have to hang out in trees.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to be on really high
I
alert.
don't think sleeping in a tree is a good idea.
Well, maybe it's not for everyone.
Like, does anyone have a hammock? Because unless you have a hammock, we're not sleeping in trees.
No, just,
I had-
just tie yourself to the tree with a rope.
I have
That's not a good
blanket.
idea.
I have a blanket.
Well, then you'll be warm tonight.
That's a good point. Maybe they have a backpack.
And you realize bears are good climbers, right? They can climb trees really well.
Yeah, well, this bear only has 4 legs, so maybe it's not so hot at it.
All bears have 4 legs.
That's kind of exclusionist to the ones that have lost it to traps.
Do that.
Some bears lose their legs in traps.
Yeah, don't be such an ableist.
With that word.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's happening here, but we're definitely losing what little time we have left. I think we should continue forward until we're pushing into dark. And then we should start to make camp.
Should we start making bear sounds?
No.
To attract it?
No.
Honey.
We might attract something else too.
On top of the negative wisdom and negative intelligence.
I mean,
Definitely the mean shield.
I'm not negative on the 0, but I've never had to be the smart one. So I just try to be the one with good
0
ideas.
is not dumb though.
Not terribly.
No, it's not dumb at all.
So we'll keep walking, and she will quietly plot to herself how she's going to sleep in a tree tonight.
Alright. So you guys continue on. Give me another tracking check.
Okay. Here we go
I'll help
again. Some rolls. Aw.
Oh.
8. I got 2 5s.
So you kind of wander around, and by nightfall, you're pretty sure you have lost any kind of trail.
Guys, I don't think the bear is here anymore.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's obviously not here. We just don't know where he's at.
What if the bear transforms into a human
Okay,
We'll
but
start setting up camp.
during the day or during the night?
during the night? That's why we lost track of it.
But it attacked last night, and it was a bear. What was the moon phase last night?
Roll a wisdom check.
18.
That's about middle.
Oh, okay. So not a bear. I'm gonna start gathering firewood and being useful. Just kind of thinking out loud.
Thank you.
So you gather up firewood, and you guys kind of set about making yourself an encampment. Settle into kind of a clearish section of the forest where you can kind of take advantage of not sleeping on brush and rocks and roots. But slightly sheltered so that your fire isn't seen like all over creation. And what is your watch orders going to be in?
I'll go first.
Okay. First.
I mean, I can take second if you want to. Makes no
Second.
difference to me.
I guess I'll take 3rd.
Does
Third.
it work like that for spellcasters though? Because we have to.
Yeah, as long as you take a long rest.
Okay.
What? So.
Okay, then yeah, I'll take the last one.
Alright.
I got a 5 for acrobatics or for athletics to climb a tree.
You never actually make it into a tree. You look around, you kind of reach up for some branches, but they're all slightly above your head. You jump for it and you hang from it for a little bit. Paw at the trunk with your foot, and then just kind of give up and lay down underneath it.
Curl up in the roots with my blanket. My back to the porch. Good night, guys.
Aw, she's defeated.
Had a really rough day. Okay, first off, didn't have enough money for the thing. Second off, bear only has 4 legs, maybe 3. Third off, couldn't sleep in a tree. This is bullshit. It's been a very sad day after such a victory yesterday.
You have some very interesting things you consider problems.
It's pretty basic.
14.
As you're sitting there on your watch, kind of poke at the fire a little bit, keeping it going, looking around. Seems quiet, peaceful. It's kind of nice. Kind of reminds you of a few of the trips that you've made out with some of the patrols that kind of patrol the road to the north and to the south. Patrols really never come out here into the wilderness part of it. Their duty is primarily keeping the road clear of bandits and trouble. But it's kind of nice.
Cool. It's gonna be 19.
This is like your first real camping trip.
Yeah.
Aww.
Actually, yeah, that sounds about right.
You kind of sitting here and you're kind of listening to it. It's quiet. The town itself is quiet, but even then it still has its town noises.
Yeah, it's not this quiet.
Yeah. Out here there's a lot of weird bugs. You hear night birds that you can't quite identify. Every once in a while you hear something else, but you're not sure what it is.
Yeah.
But nothing sounds large enough or dangerous enough to be a threat.
Okay. I'll be nervous then, but I'm not gonna wake anybody up until it's time.
Fire is nice though.
Oh yeah, and it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I like this. But I'm sleepy. Kurt, it's your turn.
Okay.
Bulk.
4.
4? You get kind of like, you're sitting there, poke at the fire a little bit. This is kind of your first trip out camping too. It's not terrible. Fire's kind of cool. It's getting a little low. Throw a piece of wood on there. Poke. Throw another piece on there. Poke at it a little bit. Fire goes out a little bit. You scramble to kind of get it going again. And then by the end of your watch, you realize that you spent most of your time just kind of messing with the campfire. But nothing attacked, so
No.
it's probably okay.
We're gonna wake up my sister and then go back to sleep.
I would like to search the area directly around the camp. Like, I won't go more than probably 15 feet from the fire.
Okay.
But I want to look for plants and flowers that smell.
Okay. Yeah, nature check.
Like sage or mint, lemon, 5. Oh, wait. Oh, that's intelligence. That's 2.
Looking about, you find there's lots of plants, most of which you don't really recognize. None of them that smell pleasant. Not necessarily bad, but not like mint or flowers or anything like that. Lot of you find some pine sap. That smells pretty potent, but then you get it on your hands and it doesn't come off.
Oh no.
And then it's on your clothes, and you don't know how it got on your clothes. You didn't wipe your hands on your
Got it
clothes.
on my horns.
So by next morning, you guys, you haven't rolled for your actual watch.
13?
13. So yeah, by the next morning when you guys wake up, you find Kira sitting over there. She's got pine needles that are kind of stuck to her horns.
Do you have prestidigitation?
No.
Okay.
A little bit of
Guys.
peanut butter to get that out.
I'm sticky.
Oh, did you make it up into the tree?
Were you hauling around in the dirt?
No and no. Actually, both kind of yes. But I'm gonna go get cleaned up.
Oh.
Is there a stream nearby?
You know that you're not far from where the river is.
So if we don't see these tracks. I guess we could just go to the river. If it lives near here, it might go there to drink. If we don't pick him up, we might just need to call this a wash and head back home.
Yeah, that's a yeah. I can agree with that.
So, start of the day's trek. Give me a survival check. You still assisting her?
Yes. Yeah. Oh God.
That's why dice boxes were made.
17. Ew. 17, stop judging me. It fell out of my hand the wrong direction.
Up here.
Yeah.
And that way.
Yeah.
Screw you guys!
You're going home.
Oh, shit, I am home!
Next morning, you kind of begin making your way towards the river and looking around, and you actually find a tree that has got a really thick dried coat of blood across it, and there's about half of a cow's head not far from the tree.
Look!
Completely stripped of like everything. Its insides, the brain has been eaten, the eyeballs are gone. There's like a few shreds of hide still left on it, but mostly it is just kind of a blood stained cow skull.
Does it have horns at all? Not that kind of cow.
Cows.
Some cows have horns in Texas.
You mean male cows?
Don't girl cows sometimes have horns? The long horned?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. End your sentence there. Don't, elaborate. Anyway, so this one does not have.
No.
Okay. But look! This means we're on the right track.
Yeah, I probably came here to drink.
Yeah, I mean, if you ate 2 cows, you'd be thirsty too.
I think animals get thirsty on the general. Doesn't matter what they eat.
I suppose.
I'd have more to input, but that thing's just gross. I'm sorry.
Kind of poke at it. How long has it been dead?
Ah.
It's like last night.
Since yesterday.
So it doesn't look like he dragged a live one off with and killed it. No?
No.
Yep, looks like it was killed last night.
Thanks.
Well, do we hear or see it nearby? No.
But you are you're close enough that you can hear the running water of the river.
Okay. So we're not actually at the river yet. Okay, let's head to the river. We can wash off and we can see. Do the
What there is
tracks
to see.
lead to the river?
They are going in that general direction.
Okay.
Right now, I want everyone to give me perception checks.
12.
6.
11.
As they're kind of like talking about the cow and moving towards the river, you're kind of listening and you hear like a flutter. Almost like not quite like a bird, something faster, but not quite as fast as say like an insect. So it doesn't quite buzz, but it flutters quickly.
Guys,
When you see something kind of dart by overhead. You don't quite make it out, but it's about the size of a large crow or a decent sized bird. Not quite a hawk or anything quite that big, but it's kind of got a ruddy, muddy, reddish brown color to it. You get a good look at it though. Then you see a couple of more fluttering around.
I think there's something in the trees.
And you kind of
Stumbled into something here.
look up and you see something odd. It looks like almost like a wasp nest or a beehive up in the tree, but it's huge and it kind of like laid up in it. It's like just this big mound of mud and straw and everything that's just kind of like caked all together with these holes about yay big around in it.
What do you know what they're called?
I've never seen anything like this.
Okay, everybody stop what they're doing. Very slowly, we gotta start heading towards the river. Very slowly, don't make any sound. There's a nest up there with some really big bugs. So just keep calm, very slowly start walking.
I'm gonna roll a stealth check.
All right. So if you
He
guys
said
are
he's
trying-
sneaky, I'm gonna do it.
all right. Roll the stealth
Nice.
check. Oh yeah.
Disadvantage.
Shit, heavy armor.
12 for me.
12.
23.
Nice.
19.
Nice.
6.
All right. So you guys are
You rolled a disadvantage.
making your way along, and you like trying to be quiet, and you like step on some twigs and stuff, and stumble into a bush a little bit, and it rattles. Stop, look up, pause for a second. Nothing seems to happen. You start making your way a little bit closer towards the river, and all of a sudden this thing comes flying right at your face. It's got 4 wings on it. These almost like weird bird-like, slightly leathery bat wings, and it's got like a strange bug-like body with 4 hooked legs and this long dagger-like snout as it comes flying right at you. So who's first?
Sturgis.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
You got 20.
All right. So the first one is
Perfect.
going to attack you. Does a 13 hit you?
It does not, even if I didn't have my shield out.
So it comes flying around and like right at your face, and you quickly throw up your shield, and it's like fluttering all up against the shield trying to get to you. Meanwhile, the one goes diving towards each of you.
That one's hurt. Ooh.
Here, this one will probably come from me.
Yeah, I
and then
didn't
that
see
one will
these
come
two
from
at
her.
first.
And then
Straight forward. There you go. So, who's got one on how many?
everybody has 1. Kira and Lukien have 2.
Alright, so we'll start with Lukien. First one attacking you. Does a 13 hit you?
No.
Or sorry, not 13, 23.
23 was it? Yes. That's
Minor difference.
much difference.
So you will take 7 points of piercing damage, and it will basically lashes the hook-like feet into like your armor and bits of flesh and everything. As it plunges its beak into you, begins to drain you of blood. Meanwhile, the second one kind of lunges at you. That one will hit an AC of 13.
Yes.
Then on you, you have 1.
Yeah, it's just 1.
It's an AC of 7 as you just kind of swat at it and duck underneath as it kind of buzzes by your head. Kurt, you have 1. We'll hit an armor class of 22.
That'll definitely hit.
So this one comes and latches onto you and deals 5 points of piercing damage. It too kind of like latches its legs, kind of like hooking them into like the cloth and everything, kind of tangling itself up as it just begins to feed on your blood.
Reaction, Hellish Rebuke.
Alright.
Oh, set that bitch on fire!
Dex save. It's only a 12, so since it uses charisma.
It will save, but
It still
At
takes
12?
half. At 12? Okay. It still takes 8 points of fire damage, though.
alright. So as it like latches onto you, you just scream out and it bursts into flames and it just vaporized.
Fuck off, ghosts.
And then on
Sounds good.
you have one more, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's 2 on. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say
Hitting
it could
an
be on
armor
me
class
or
of
you.
19.
That's a hit.
Alright.
Yeah. Well, he said it was straightforward, so. Plus, I fumbled my stuff.
For 7 points of piercing damage.
You're sick.
15.
Okay.
Alright, who's
After
next?
Sturgis, it's Kerr with Vic on deck.
Alright. I am going to just firebolt the one directly in front of me, which
Okay.
is the one that just attacked Kira. That is going to be a 14 to hit. Is that right? Yeah. 14.
14. Alright. So that will hit.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay. And it takes 5 points of fire damage.
And that one too, just in like a burst of gore and flame, is now dead.
Did. Vic.
You gonna move it all?
No.
Okay. I don't like being in immediate range with this, so I'm going to bonus action disengage. I'm gonna back up to this tree towards Kurt here and fire at the little bugger that was trying to come up and hit Art. I'm gonna go with
That'd be really good.
Okay. It
Yeah.
rolled towards the
Think
knife.
better, colder.
16 to hit.
That will hit.
Right. And my bow
Or
is.
D8 plus dex.
Yeah, I was just making sure it was a D8.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 plus 5, 7 points for piercing.
Alright. So you fire off your bow and it hits the strange creature and it goes flying back and is pinned to a tree back behind it.
Is it dead though?
It is dead.
Heck and dead.
If it wasn't, it'd be a nice easy target.
Who's next?
After Vic, it's Kira with Lukien on deck. Kira is going to bring up her sickle and slice at the one in front of her. It's a
alright.
very, very bad idea, guys, just so you know. 7 to hit.
That is a miss.
Okay. Lukien.
Alright, I will attempt
Come on,
to.
Skeeter.
The ones that's attached to me, I'll try and kill that one.
Okay.
8.
That will not hit. It's really hard to hit a creature with a spear that's actually like on you.
Yeah.
That makes the initiative. Kurt.
10.
Vicqinor.
24.
Lukien.
6.
There it is.
17.
Vicqinor is first. Sturgis on deck.
I'm gonna try and feel like a badass after that pin. Scoot here, line the shot up on the one that's behind Lukien and see if I can pin another one. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot to hit. That's 26.
Ping
That will
you.
hit.
And then you hit sneak attack on this one.
Ooh, thanks. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I believe it's just an extra D6.
Get spat in his ears.
So that's gonna make
Here, level 3.
I thought it
Three
go up
should be
to-
Oh,
3d6.
oh, should it go up to 2? Ooh, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Oh, good.
That extra d6 will really matter on these creatures with 2 hit points.
Yeah.
Well, that went from 7 to 12 thanks to that. So
Nice.
12
So
points
you
of
hit
damage.
that one and it just kind of splatters.
Aw.
In
Everywhere.
his ear. You've got ear goo.
Oh yeah, it's all over your back.
Sturgis.
Alright, how many's left?
One on Kira, one on Lukien.
The one that's still attached to you, and then is it the one that's attached to you, or
Yes,
the
it's the one that's already sucking me dry.
Alright,
Speaking of which, should I take any con damage or need to make a save for that?
no.
Okay.
So this round, you guys, Luke, you will lose 4 hit points.
Ooh.
Kira will lose 6 hit points.
Okay.
As it just continues to suck blood out of you.
Right.
Kira's turn. I'm gonna slice at the one in front of me with my sickle.
Because I did so well last time.
15 to hit.
That's a hit.
Nice.
Good bitch.
1 point of damage.
You slice into it and blood tricks and ooze kind of trickles out of it, but it continues to feed.
I should have cut his nose. Kurt.
It's
All
a
right.
good biscuit.
I'm going to firebolt the one that's attacking Kira.
Okay.
22 to hit.
That will hit.
8 points of fire damage.
And as it's like, you're like, ah! Flames.
I knew I could do it.
You got a little bit of it like dripping off, like, because you're like, ah! and
Oh, it's
kinda
in my flowers.
Alright, who's after?
After Kurt, it's Lukien.
Yeah, we'll attempt again to attack. 18
That will hit.
and 12 damage.
And you're like, you finally just kind of swat it with the spear, and it just kind of explodes and just leaves goo on you. But you're okay with that.
Did
You're
your
covered
body
on
better.
both sides now.
So that's all of the ones that are here.
And then everything goes quiet.
So I'm not usually one for burning children, but maybe we should deal with the nest.
Oh.
Concern.
Hey, Kurt, you want to set it on fire?
Well, I mean, if there's more in there, it might just.
Agitate them.
I mean, I could try.
I'm gonna sit down. I think I need orange juice.
Well, we also risk setting the whole forest on fire.
Well, do we hear any sounds of the bear creature?
Do you currently? No.
Empty potion if you want.
I have a potion and I have a healer's kit too. I'll have to look and see what I can do with that.
Healer's kit does not actually restore hit points.
It's for sale.
Not yet. I get that feat though. It's a matter of keeping track of which character has that feat. I'm taking it with a couple of them.
So 5.
What are you guys doing?
Very good.
I mean, should we still head to the river?
I will also drink the potion.
I don't see a reason not to.
Well,
We're just-
how long have we been traveling at this point?
We're just about an hour.
About an hour?
Not very long at all.
3, 4 plus 2, so 5 plus 7.
Ooh,
6.
it's much better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was a good 9 right there.
I think that we should keep an eye on the nest as we move away from it, and then maybe we should go to the river and look for the bear.
Alright. So you guys roll me stealth checks.
Ooh. That's very high bonus.
11.
13.
16.
7.
6.
A little bit, overall, a little bit better than what you guys did the last time. Not a lot, obviously. But you guys do manage to kind of move away and get probably another 30, 45 minutes out away from the nest. So you feel pretty confident that you're safe. You can, the river is a bit louder now. And as you get a little bit closer, the ground is beginning to get softer and mushier. There are standing pools of kind of brackish water here and there. The trees kind of go from being the nice, vibrant, foresty look to kind of a mossy, some of them a little bit rotted and dead, basically having been drowned out by the overflowing water. Leaving mostly just kind of rotting stumps here and there.
Interesting.
As you get a little bit further in, kind of looking around, frogs, slight splash of water.
Is the water very still or is it a fast current?
Here it's very still. You have basically entered into the marshy area on the outside edges of the river.
I would like to begin looking for a relatively flat rock. About the size of my palm.
Okay.
I was looking for a skimming stone.
You guys want to take an opportunity here to clean up, I guess, a little bit? Some of you.
Let's get our hands clean.
Unless you are okay with sturge innards.
I
They
will
don't
clean
smell
up
very pleasant.
while I look for a
But
rock.
she also still has the staff.
I will clean off the sap and the bug guts.
Okay. So while you guys are here, give me perception checks.
Alright, I'm switching you out, girl.
13.
12.
2.
7.
You get 13, right? You're kind of looking around. Being up on the horse, it's a little bit easier in this particular case. You see out into the marsh a little bit. You see a black and white carcass stained in blood, kind of out in the marshy area a little bit.
I see the cow. It's about 150 yards
Yeah, about 100 yards.
over there.
No sign of the bear.
No, it's not, but it's gotta be close by.
Yeah, it's a step closer still. I will head over towards it to investigate it.
Okay. So you guys kind of enter into the marshy area. For you, the going is a little bit easier. You're on a horse. Its legs do sink up to where basically its belly is in the mire a little bit. That's mostly because it's heavy and it's putting all of its weight on a very simple point. You guys don't sink quite as far, but you are struggling a little bit more because, well, you're having to get yourselves through all of this muck and mire.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna make sure that mage armor is active since I didn't have that cast before.
okay.
So
You kind of make your way up, and you get up to where you find half of a cow, well, or what's left of it. Mostly just gnawed upon ribs. Some of the ribs are missing. It's tattered hide. All of the inside has been like completely just devoured, or at the very least missing. Much of the meat and everything has been completely torn away. It's already starting to get a number of flying insects and creatures are nibbling on it and everything. As you get closer, you see a small, some sort of small like reptile kind of scurry away out into the water and kind of disappear.
Yeah.
Is this the part of the cow that would be wearing a cowbell, and does it have one?
It does not have a cowbell. And perhaps.
Well, I guess, do we see, like, does the marsh kind of fill in quickly? Can we see tracks of where this thing went from here?
You want to search for tracks?
Kira, do you want to do this? You seem to be better at it than the rest
Oh,
of us.
look for the bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can look for the bear.
I feel I should help you though. You thought I had 6 legs, so I don't know. I just feel like you need that.
That was an educated guess.
And so was mine.
15.
15. Yeah, actually, you see up ahead a little bit, you see one of the kind of not quite living trees has a massive claw mark along one side of it. And you notice a couple of more further into the marsh a little bit that have been marked in a similar fashion, probably about 12 feet up in the tree.
Can I make a knowledge nature check to see why there would be so many claw marks in one spot?
Sure. Make your nature check.
11?
Possibly marking territory.
Okay, so I have an idea.
Maybe it's clumsy.
So, I think that a good idea would be we should make sounds like cowbells and mooing and see if it comes out looking for a cow.
Yes.
Like maybe one of the other cows came looking for their cows.
Or
And-
we could try and find where this thing lives and actually have the element of surprise and figure out what it is first.
We could do that. I mean, I wouldn't be expecting people instead of cows if it sounded like a cow, but that's fine.
I don't
Also,
think it's
I
gonna
think-
matter one way or
I
the other.
think this is its territory. Look at all the trees.
Yeah, we probably pretty close to where it lives out. We're probably right there. But I don't think trying to lure it out is a good idea.
Okay.
I think trying
Unless
to
we
figure
dig a pit hole trap.
You have
That's
a
not-
wondrous imagination.
out. It's not gonna happen. Shall we go and
Vic, Lukien, could you guys give me perception checks, please?
Mm-hmm.
2.
Ooh, 21.
You're kind of listening to them. And you listen to his idea, and he's like, oh, that's a good idea. Listen to her idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Listen to him. Yeah, that's a good idea. But you watch as some of the murky water kind of ripples a little bit in like 2 different spots.
Hey guys, I think
You see something that looks kind of like maybe a part of a log kind of bob up and then bob back down.
I think something's either in the river or there's some sort of odd debris. But
The
there's,
bear?
No, there's something, and I'll point it out to them. Whatever I'm seeing, this movement.
and by the water you mean kind of in the marshiness that we're standing in?
Yeah. Like
We should maybe get out of this.
yeah. Do we start backing up?
Oh, how far away are we to the side where we think this bear is compared to where we came?
Well, the whole thing is about 300 yards across. You are roughly the middle of it.
I think we should head across as quick as we can.
I will draw my light crossbow and ready to bolt.
Okay.
And make my way across the river. Did I ever find a skipping stone?
No.
Mud.
Unfortunately,
If there's any
it's too much
stones, it's
mud.
gonna be like, this is not a skipping type of river anyway.
Yeah.
It would just like hit and sink.
I don't even think I'm gonna get to try.
You guys begin trudging along, and it's hard going. I mean, you guys are at like a serious disadvantage marching through here. And you get to a section of it where the water is a bit deeper. Now, you can try to find a way to either cross, like basically find a different way around, or you can basically try to swim the last little bit to get across this to the, again, muckier other bank of this very slow, lazy moving river at this point.
I don't think we should swim for 2 reasons. 1, him, and 2,
Me.
I was gonna say I saw movement in this earlier, so I'm real skeptical of going into deeper water. But you just have a lot of heavy armor. You're gonna struggle.
Yeah.
I'm not a good swimmer.
Come to
Neither
think
am
of
I.
it, yeah, I don't know if I am either.
None
Yeah,
of
we
us
should
can
definitely
swim.
not. We should
Shit.
not try this. Let's find a way around.
I guess we should try and find a way across that's not swimming then.
I've got a crowbar.
Thanks.
So you want to move northwards or southwards?
Northwards.
Does any way look better
Basically
than the other?
upriver or downriver. You're not really certain if you're going to find anything either way. It's
Yeah.
just a
We
matter
should
of which
move
direction you
upwards.
wanna go.
That's
Because
what I
if the
was
thing is
thinking,
gonna
upriver.
swim, it'll be harder to swim up the river.
Yeah, I guess try and upriver.
That's north, right?
Ish. Alright, so you guys begin making your way steadily northward, still slogging through the thick mud and everything. Everybody, give me athletics checks. You give me an athletic check for your horse.
I get 19 for Lukien.
Not for you, just the horse, because you're on the horse.
Okay. 13. I know, of course.
Okay. You can be in the back of the player somewhere.
14?
14?
8.
8?
I got a 14 as well.
Alright. So you two are trudging along, and it's difficult, but you're kind of keeping, you've got like a gait, you got a pace going, you're doing alright. You, unfortunately, Kurt, are struggling really hard at this point. You're really tired and winded. 16. The horse is doing well. Like I said, it's not sinking quite deep enough to be too much work for it, but it's It would much rather be not in bucket.
In his video.
But you're starting to kind of slow down and tire, and finally you get to a point where you're basically stuck. You hit a point where you sink almost all the way up into your waist, and you just can't move forward or back or anything at this point.
Guys, I can't move. I'm stuck.
Oh, Kurt, let's go.
No, like, I'm serious. I can't. And I.
He kind of falls forward a little bit.
Oh!
Toss your rope.
Grab onto it. I go.
Oh! I will fling my shield at him.
What?
This
Roll
way.
the head.
No, not to hit. Like, I want to get it in front of him so he can put his feet on it and hold on to the rope.
You want to try to use her shield as a sled while he drags you out of the mud?
But it'll keep you from the mud. You won't sink because wood floats.
Your shield's metal.
It's part wood.
Luke, can I ride on your horse with you?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and see if we can.
I'll tie pour the rope around Snaggy's neck, tie it off, drag him out.
Okay. He drags you out, and you're kind of prone across the top of the mud a little bit until you get to a spot where you feel like you might be able to clamp her up, and then you use the rope. And as you're starting to climb up onto the rope, something hard hits you square in the back, and needs you to make an athletics check.
This is gonna be valued.
Don't fall back into the mud.
18.
All right. You get pulled free from the rope and pulled backwards about 10 feet towards what you see is a what looks like a frog, almost the size of Lukien's horse, kind of popped up out of the mud, and you were at the end of its tongue, and it's like starts dragging you back.
Help!
Hey!
Oh,
And then
we
you
need
see
to
a second
stop
one
that.
kind of, a set of eyes and a head kind of pop up from the muck.
Ribbit.
Initiative.
Oh, shit.
These are scary.
You want to work
Journey.
on?
No,
This
just
is not a good journey.
Crit.
16.
Vicqinor.
19.
Lukien.
20.
Oh.
Frogs.
20.
Alright, Frogs and Lukien are Simo and Vicqinor on deck.
Put that one about 5 feet away from the brother, who should be next to Vic. Or not Vic, but Lukien.
Oh, the hell?
And then put this one about 15 feet in that direction. Alright, so who's first?
Frogs. Lukien, Simo.
Frogs takes +1.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, alright. So the frog will pull you closer. Make an athletics check with
Yeah, you're being
disadvantage.
pulled again next time.
Disadvantage?
Yeah.
13.
13. Okay, you just slide across through the mud and everything, and get swallowed by the giant toad.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Oh shit. He's right.
So take him off. And the other one will hop forward to Kira.
Okay. Hop, skip it.
It doesn't feel like it can eat a horse.
Base
so-
contact?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll try to bite you. And we'll hit an armor class of 12.
That's a miss.
Alright. As it hops forward and just like tries to chomp on you. Who's next?
Lukien, Simo.
Alright, Luke.
Okay, I'm going to.
Now, you guys are in the marsh, so your movement will be halved.
Makes sense, yeah.
I'm gonna stay on the horse And I'm gonna charge after the one that swallowed Kurt. And I will attempt to hit it.
Okay.
Oh, look, I'm scared.
No, hit him with the horse.
12?
That will miss. Oh no, that hits.
Oh, nice.
Downside to being bulky.
12 damage.
Alright.
Does your horse get attacked?
He gets an attack, yes.
No, not while you're riding it.
Oh, okay. I'm not riding it.
Pooh. Alright, Vicqinor.
Hold on. You take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Makes sense.
You feel something sharp like jab into your leg.
Oh. I'm very disgruntled by what's happening. I'm going to back away. That's 10.
Did I hear any yelping coming out?
That's 20.
No.
And that'll be 30 since it's difficult terrain. And I'm going to try and shoot the eye out of this gross bugger.
Same target.
Yeah, the one that has Kurt. But
Okay.
I will 1.
Alright. So you're just like, you
Yeah.
slip in a little bit of mud and kind of step into a slightly deeper section. So you're like, and this arrow just kind of goes way out into the marsh somewhere.
As I'm goofed. And lost that arrow.
I think it's Kurt.
Alright, Kurt.
So what can I do while I'm inside it?
Alright. You are blinded and restrained.
So everything is disadvantage.
Everything's disadvantage.
Yeah,
Can I try and escape, or do I just have to like?
You
Or
can
can I
attempt
attack
to
it?
escape. You can attempt a athletics check to basically pry the mouth open and basically try to get out.
Strength, strong suit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just realized if I do an offhand attack, I don't get to add my
Modifier.
modifier.
No.
So it wouldn't be at a -1 anymore.
There you go.
Right? Don't just snort at me, John.
So what you doing?
I'm trying to think. Do I know what happens to me while I'm still in its mouth, or no?
You're pretty sure that if you don't get dissolved by the stomach acids, you will eventually just suffocate.
Okay. I guess
If you don't escape, you will be digested.
I guess I'll just try and escape because I don't know if hurting it from the inside will do anything quick enough. Am I at disadvantage or just regular?
Yeah, because you're
Trying
restrained.
to wave this bitch from the inside.
That's right.
Kurt's gonna die, guys.
No.
Basically.
8.
No, not quite. You struggle, and you can see like this, like the big bulge at its like just below the jaw and everything. There's like this huge bulge, and you see it like pushing and everything, and something struggling inside, but to no avail. Who's next?
Kira. So attack of opportunity from the frog as Kira runs away from it.
Okay.
She's gonna run to this frog.
Remember, you're at half movement, so you can only move 3 squares.
I just moved 3. Well, from here was 1, 2, 3.
Just reminding you.
Technically, you're in its space there, so you need to be
There. Okay.
there or
Oh,
here.
I see.
I will be there.
It will. The one that you run away from hits an armor class of 14.
Miss.
Okay.
So I will take out my sickle where I just saw my brother like going at like trying to get out, and I want to slice. Should I practice on frogs? I want to try and slice the anatomy in such a way that it pierces the belly lining. So I want to attack, but I want to basically aid his escape. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like, can I drop the damage in order to give him advantage on his escape roll?
No. But what you can do is attack at disadvantage if you are attempting to avoid
Okay. I'll do that
jabbing
then.
a sickle into your
My
brother.
brother. Yes. Cool. That's a natural 1.
Alright, so you go running up there, and you're like, sink into like a little bit of a mucky hole, and you're like, you're just flailing about at this point. You can't quite get into a position to do anything.
Initiative. Kurt.
6.
Vicqinor,
13.
Lukien,
15.
folks.
10.
Kira is first. I'm gonna do the same thing again.
Okay.
Attacking with disadvantage and with effort to dislodge Broski here. That's only 9.
Miss.
Okay.
Is
Next.
that even with your proficiency? Or are you not proficient in sickle?
I don't think I'm proficient in sickle.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Then I have a plus.
+1.
Oh, +1. Probably the 8.
Okay.
So, yeah, between my strength and.
For some reason I thought that was a 9 and you did a -1.
Oh, no. Just an
Okay. Okay.
8. Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, Lukien.
I'm gonna attempt to attack again.
Alright. Roll to hit.
14
That's a hit.
for another 11 damage.
Alright. You take 5.
Yep.
And the frog is just like, it looks pretty rough.
Doesn't realize it's a mistake and should spit it. Self-preservation is more important.
3.
I'm sorry, I was reading a spell. Vicqinor is up next with frogs on deck.
Well, now here is in the way, so I will trudge over to this tree. Is the shot going to be a disadvantage for my longbow if I'm trying not to hit Kurt? Or
Yes.
okay, I was going to say because I'm hitting the backside kind of, so but that's perfectly acceptable. Oh, that's a 10 to hit.
Close, but no.
All right.
Frogs.
Alright. Alright, Kurt, you take 6 points of acid
It's
damage.
unconscious.
And then the other frog will.
points of damage from
Spear. The other frog will leap over to
No, 11 total.
Kira.
did 6 more.
Oh,
I'm assuming he's not moving with the force, right?
No, this is.
He's got the flabby sleeve.
he's got
He will hit an armor class of 16.
That is my armor class right now.
Okay, so he will bite you.
Assuming my shield is somewhere in the mud. Soon to be recovered.
He will bite you for 7 points of damage.
7 points, okay.
Now I need you. Oh wait, plus 2 points of poison damage. You are currently grappled.
Okay. Alright. It's Kurt's turn.
Success.
Initiative. Kurt.
17.
Vicqinor.
15.
Lukien.
12.
Frogs.
3.
Kira's first. She got it. Dooey. Okay, so this frog is chomping on me, but
You are grappled.
can I make a perception check? I want to see if, one, I can tell that Kurt isn't moving anymore, and two, if I notice that the damage has been damaging Kurt.
Yes, you can make a intelligence check.
7.
You're not sure. You can tell that he's not moving. That's obvious, but you're not certain about the damage part of it.
I want to do a thing. Okay, so one of the holes that he's poked into it, I want to stick my arm in the hole and grab on to hopefully Kurt and cast Cure Wounds.
Well, you've already used your action. So, what would you like to do as a bonus action?
Lord.
So say, do I have to have line of sight? Creature of your choice that you can see within range. Okay. So I can't cast it on him. Is everyone else okay for hit points so far?
Yeah.
Okay, then she'll go, shit! And cast healing word on herself.
Okay. Who's next?
Okay, it is Cut's turn.
Is it not at full HP because of your thing?
One
It's only
failure.
if you're unconscious. If you're unconscious, I heal you max. One failure.
Yep.
1 and 1.
Okay, after Kurt, it's Vic.
All right, Vic, what are you doing?
Still trying, carefully aiming shots. 10 and 6, so that's gonna be 13 to hit.
Hit.
Yeah, there's some within 5 feet. So that's gonna be 7 plus 1 is 8 plus another 5 is 13 points of damage.
Piercing. 13 piercing on the one that.
But he took the disadvantage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Which drops that one to it's like shudders and kind of slumps off to the side, and its jaw goes slack, and just kind of like slime covered Kurt kind of like just out of the mouth of it, unconscious and bleeding.
Not doing so hard.
Lukien's turn.
Alright. I will turn to the other frogs and attempt to hit it. 20.
That will hit.
Now I'm going to use unwavering mark on it. So if it tries to attack anything but me, it's got disadvantage.
Okay.
And I get to, if it does attack something else other than me, on the next round I get to use a bonus action to get a free attack against it with advantage. So
Open its ass.
I can do that as many times as strength modifier have. I have 4. So. 8 damage.
8 damage. Good job.
Frogs.
Singular.
It kind of looks a little nervous and will hop. It's going to do a standing leap.
With me?
It's leaving you.
Oh,
and
just
it's
check.
going to go 20 and then 20 more.
Do I get an attack opportunity?
Yeah.
10.
Do I get attack of opportunity?
Yes.
Got him.
5.
But it goes hopping off, and it is very obviously abandoning the field.
Did it look like it was like pretty badly wounded, or just a little?
That was the
rough?
first hit.
Yeah, it
Okay,
only
yeah,
hit once.
yeah. Never mind. Because I was gonna say if it looked a little wounded, I was gonna try and finish him off, but not gonna
We're
waste
still
the
in
arrow.
initiative order, so.
It is initiative, actually.
Oh. Do we?
Well, are you guys going to pursue it, or are you?
I don't know.
Death saves.
Okay, so
Oh.
Kurt.
11.
Hey, twins! Vicqinor.
19.
Lukien.
9.
Frogs not keeping track of anymore.
Oh.
Okay. Vicqinor goes first.
Oh.
are you doing anything with him?
I'm not really sure what to do, so I will go over and ask Kira to help me.
Okay.
Because I don't really know how to handle this.
Who's next?
Kurt and Kira Simo. I have a +3 dex.
So do I.
Oh my god.
You first.
Okay.
So I think death saves are at the end of the turn anyway,
Yeah.
technically.
Okay.
So.
So I'll reach out, grab some slimy part of him, and cast Cure Wounds. And he'll heal for 11 points. Hashtag brave to me.
So just out of curious, what was your death save would have been?
I know,
Would've been a
right?
failure, but not a.
So I've been 2.
I know. I was trying to process through that fight. Like, what if Kurt actually dies right here?
Is
Oh
it
my god,
11,
that would be
right?
so depressing.
It would be a very
Yeah.
psychological impact.
Go back to town. I only need 3 rings. Oh.
But after that, you guys get him up, and he's just like, you ache, you hurt all over.
You got eaten.
It stings.
That was really
You help climb up on the back of his horse with his help. You guys make your way along the river, trying to find some place to cross. And you guys get a little bit further up, and into the ground begins to start to rise and become rockier as you get into a little bit closer into the mountains themselves. and you get up out of the muck a little bit. And though you don't see any place where you can't, with like a bridge or anything like that, you do see an area that you should be able to cross easily enough. There's some large rocks and stuff for those that want to try to jump across. Your horse can easily carry you across.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds again on Kurt, and then once on
Do you want
Kira.
to do that, or you want to take a short rest
Well,
and use hit dice?
Kira is definitely going to cast Cure Wounds on Kurt. Like, as soon as she finishes
Okay,
casting
just
that
mark it
one, she will cast another one.
Okay.
Because that was scary.
Understandably so.
Kira will wait until she takes a short rest.
Did you roll the dice so you...
Oh, I did not roll that. Sorry, it's like, I didn't do it last time, it's fine. 8?
Alright, I'm at max.
I was gonna say, what's your wisdom?
Alright, so you guys see this, like I said, a rocky section where you can cross the river.
Alright, guess let's try and cross.
It's rocky.
Yeah.
5. I'm looking for a river rock to skip.
Oh,
Alright, you find a lot of rocks.
I will collect 3 of them because I am not strong, but I want them. Ooh, 4. I collect 4.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll add
each
that on
do.
your character.
Yep.
4 skipping.
skipping. I'll take it.
What did you call them? Skimming rocks?
Yeah.
I've never heard skimming before. Makes sense because you're just skimming the edge. I always call them skipping because I'm skipping.
Skipping stones. Yeah.
Hey guys, a little bit of real talk right now. If a frog and a half kicked our ass this hard, a bear that could make a mark 12 foot up a tree, I'm not sure if we're on the right track here.
So you think that we should just do some reconning where we check it out and then we go tell the guards?
Yeah, make it known, mark an obvious trail to get back, but I don't think we should engage this bear at all.
Well, part of the reason that fight went so poorly and Kurt, well, just that whole unpleasantness happened was we kind of just weren't prepared and we were in their territory. They called us
pretty
up
hard to say though.
Can I retroactively have found my shield in the mud? Okay.
I didn't even realize you actually threw it. I thought you were
Yep,
talking about.
chucked it at you. She was helping. For
I've
sure.
been keeping track of the arrows that I have forgotten. I've lost 3.
I have extras. They're a little shorter.
I have plenty. I'm just actually keeping tabs. I will make my way across the river though.
I think you're right, but we should also just look at it.
Alright, I'm with you guys all the way, but I do reserve the right to say I told you so if we fight it and we all
I
die.
think that's fair.
Well, my last words.
What time of day does it appear to be right now?
It's almost noon.
Almost noon.
So you've only traveled about half the day so far.
Yeah.
It's just been
This is like travel. We want to go that way.
Yeah, we didn't go very. We didn't go
You've
very
got
far.
about 10 miles.
Lunchtime!
I guess when we get across somewhere safe.
Part of that trek was only 3 miles of it was in the marsh.
Oh, okay. I thought marshmallow.
No.
Yeah. I say we eat after we cross.
We'll take a
Yeah,
look.
because you can't swim on the floor. It's bad for
You're
you.
not swimming.
We should wait 30 minutes.
Well, the goal here is not to swim.
Should know he's gonna date you.
For their training.
So you're going to try to basically make it across the large stones.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
I say I'm decently dexterous. I don't feel I'm too bad at that.
I can't believe you said that out loud before rolling your dice.
Shh, irrelevant. 21.
Yeah, you just kind of like
Hop, skip, and jump. Hop,
cross
skip, and
and
jump.
you are on to the other
I'm
side.
perfectly fine as my voice is trailing off.
I have hoofs. This should be much easier for me. I'm gonna do it too.
As you get over there, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll.
Oh wow. Is it, what do you call it, athletics?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics, shit, yeah, son, I got a 19.
Alright, you too. Get to the other side.
Come on, Sandy,
Give me
you
a
can do
perception
it.
check. I'm gonna roll for your horse.
Sure.
Your horse is gonna, you wanna do an athletics for your horse just to basically wade
Yeah.
through?
Yeah.
Alright.
+3.
13.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time at one spot in like towards the middle where the stream is a little bit deeper and the current is heavier. It kind of stalls a little bit, but it moves right on across.
Getting the water up in the edge of the life in the chest.
Perception. What are you doing?
I'm on the horse, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Perception though? No.
15.
15.
Oh, 12.
Natural 1 for a 1.
Faith.
We're busy.
You get up there a little ways, and as you're looking at them, and they're kind of high-fiving one another about how they cross the rock and everything. You see, there's like a cliff wall. There's like a little bit of a waterfall that kind of comes down, but you see a little bit of a cliff wall, and there is a dark shadowed area where you can see that it kind of opens up a little bit into like a little cleft into the rocky surface of the cliff.
I think I found our cave.
It's probably about half a mile up this like kind of a rocky
Like a cave for lunch? Like to stop in?
Oh, probably the bear's home.
Oh, shit. You gotta eat quick then.
Good source of water. Easy access. My knowledge of animals tells me that this is what
You do have a horse, so that makes
And
sense.
this is
That checks out.
it's pretty much the same thing.
Lukien and Kira may very well be the death of the party.
you see something
Or at least one
up
of them
there
follows the death of
basically
me.
go into the
Yeah.
cave. It's too far away to really make out what it is, but it, for all intents and purposes, it kind of looks like a bear. But it's kind of a tawny, almost golden brown.
That's it. I mean, if it's a half mile away and I can see it, yeah, that's our bear. That thing's massive.
Kind of like looks in my hand.
It's pretty clear up that way. It's just kind of mostly barren rock.
What?
Trail that goes in there.
Oh, I just more of like the
Not like there's,
gauging the
you can
distance
see it
there.
above the trees or anything. It's just, you can just see movement that goes.
Alright.
Kira's trying to figure out how Vic used his hand to tell that the bear was over there.
That was just more of a, wow, that's big, kind of a stupid relation.
Kira's the kid who fell for the if your hand is bigger than your face, you have cancer. A lot.
I was gonna say more than once.
Yeah.
What's cancer?
Cure wounds.
That's good. Plus restoration, you're good to go.
So here's you guys' plan.
I'll leave the horse here, next to the water.
Okay.
She doesn't wear a bell, right?
No.
Okay, so I want her to sound like a cow.
Loosely tie her up to a branch, so if she has to run, she can run.
Alright. Did you guys want to take a short rest?
You can probably take a short rest. It's taking a short rest.
Is
We
it
can take a
coming
short rest.
towards the cave?
No, it went into the cave.
Oh, it went into the cave. Yeah. Plus it's spring, right? Oh wait, no, that's winter time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it literally just ate something, and that's why we're here, so I don't think it's hibernating.
Well, you eat up before you hibernate, right?
Okay, that part's right. Well,
Nice. She'll bust out some rations.
So if you guys want to take a short rest, you guys can take a little bit of time here. Use hit dice to recover any lost hit points.
Oh no,
Take
all this
advantage
health
of any
I lost.
features that you might want to take advantage of.
I'll just use arcane recovery to restore my one spell slot that I've extended because I can.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. I will enjoy the relaxation.
Kira is out of hit dice, but at full hit points.
Nice.
It sucks because you only get half of them on the long rest. I don't know if it rounds up or down though.
Everything pretty much rounds down in D&D, so.
Yeah.
Alright, so anything you guys doing during your rest, or is it just kind of a eat, bandage some wounds, and
Keep an eye on that bear.
watch? Alright,
Kira is second guessing the adventuring life.
okay. Give me a everybody give me perception checks for your watching, as you're basically keeping an eye out for the bear. Okay.
21.
All right.
12.
22.
Okay. So the two of you watch and you see, because you're both kind of nervous. You're like taking care of the horse, taking a little bit of a nap, kind of fall asleep, and you're just kind of in your book recovering your spell slot. You guys see whatever it is. You're still fairly certain it's a bear based off the way it's moving and everything. You see it kind of come out, lay out on a rock for a little bit, and then go back inside.
Okay. I wonder how often he does that. It's probably just kind of
I'm
lounging
sure that rock's warm if the sun's out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah, he's probably just lounging about.
For the dwarves have a saying, sun's out, guns out.
No, they live in
I think I've heard
mountains.
that.
That's not a dwarf
There's
thing.
the abovelanders. There's some abovelanders that have sheep. Red dwarves.
Does it seem like he's coming in and out, kind of in like a routine at
No,
all?
just the once.
Okay.
He
Okay.
walked out and laid out there for about 20 minutes and then went back inside.
Okay.
100 feet, 100 yards. How far away is this cave?
Half mile.
That's
Can
more
you
than
tell
100 feet.
how tall the bear is? Or what it...
It's hard to judge. It's quite a ways.
So,
It's big enough that you can see it at this distance, but it's not so big that it's like it would be about the size of a really big bear.
what about message?
I don't have
Is that a
message.
spell?
I mean, it is a spell, but I do not know message.
So maybe we could get like 100 feet away, or 300 yards away, or whatever you need to be, and we could ask it.
I can't talk to bears.
No, but I mean, well, it's if you could, like, if we found somebody who could talk to bears, we could find out by its answer
But
if
if
it's
you find
smart.
a druid in the woods, in the middle of nowhere.
There's a druid shit in the woods,
Fair question.
but I don't know. What if it's smart?
Well, there's a good chance it knows we're here.
I'm not
Can we
so
tell
sure.
what direction
The wind is actually blowing down out of the mountains at this point.
And we're not exactly hidden, right?
You're not really out in the open either.
Okay. I'm not so sure that it does know we're here, because when it came out and just kind of laid there, like if it knew we were here, it would have at least come over in our direction or looked over here. He just kind of lounged about and went back inside. I mean, if we're gonna get any closer, we definitely need to be quiet about it. But I'm not sure it knows we're here. Okay. I want to creep up closer, but I don't know how the rest of you feel.
I mean, we're here. Are we doing this?
I don't creep very well. I should probably stay with Sandy.
No, we need you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Come on, roll this way.
It's not even that. Kira's helpful.
Yeah.
he's... Alright, I will adjust my flower crown. Pick away my sandwich.
Alright.
Sandwich sounds fucking
So are
amazing.
you going to stealth ahead in a scouting fashion?
That's
Or
fine.
I'd probably stay about 30 feet ahead of them, maybe.
Alright. And you guys are going on a stealth mission at this point?
Yep.
Give me stealth
I am.
checks.
You should look for poop. Like when you're...
Why?
I'm not trying to be gross, I'm just saying.
Give me a stealth check.
5.
4.
Hey, 5.
That's
Still
ten.
eating. Still eating.
Keep eating.
10.
Hey, bear!
Alright, so then I get that number. What do you want to do?
I'm saying you should check for poop to see if it keeps going in the same spot or if it spreads it around and if it's hidden or if it's buried at all, because that'll tell us part of whether or not it's smart.
I'm ignoring Kira.
But she's talking loud enough that as you guys are approaching, it's not really all that stealthy.
This natural one though.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3.
I think I've heard something about that, Kira. I think you're on the right track there.
Guys, knock it off. We're trying to sneak here.
Of course, neither of you are.
No.
You're so busy going, shh, shh.
Like, quiet! Quiet!
Shut up, Maxie! The kids are trying to sleep!
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
But yeah.
You get up
Creepy
within
corner.
about, probably about 50 feet or so, and it hasn't come out yet.
Still here.
Yeah.
Is there a way, looking at the cave entrance, is there anything above it? Like, could we get up there, knock some rocks down?
But it's feasible.
I'm gonna try and just
Trap it in the cave.
trap it in the cave.
I mean, we could go in there, but if we go charging in there, and there's a second entrance to this cave.
Lukien, you cannot talk that loud. You're right next to the gate.
What if there's a second bear?
You hear a kind of a rumble from inside the cave.
Lukien.
Okay, so...
Does it sound like anything's coming closer?
Yeah, get that right.
This, give me a perception
We're
check.
gonna need more room.
I'm going to have my longbow at the ready.
11.
No, actually it doesn't. You listen and it sounds like it's a very steady.
Yeah,
It sounds like it's snoring. It rolled a natural 1 for a perception.
Someone so bad it fell asleep.
I've done that.
I think the bear's asleep.
I mean, that's good, but that doesn't make this less stressful. But that's good news.
Does anyone want to take a look and see?
I'm the quietest. I'm nervous, but I think I'm the best bet for this. And I will very reluctantly make my way towards the mouth of the cave and peek in.
All right, so where the cave entrance is, you see that there's like a cleft that kind of goes into the side of the cliff a little bit, and it kind of funnels into a much smaller opening, still a decent sized opening at about 10 feet across and about 10 feet tall-ish, uneven, that kind of goes into a deeper portion, and that seems to be where it's at. As you get up closer to the actual entrance, you see that there are bits of bone and stuff scattered about the outside of the cave. Some of it old deer bones and stuff like that. You see a few of the fresher cow bones also scattered out amongst everything.
And Vic's just going to immediately turn around and vomit. That's too gross for him. I've rolled every time we've come up on gross stuff. That's just finally low enough for me to not handle it. Yeah, no, immediately after I'm just going
You go sneak into the entrance.
Yes. Do you want a stealth check?
Yes, please.
Ooh, yeah, that's going to be great. 24.
All right, so you lean over and kind of toss your snack from lunch out onto the rocks
cookies.
next to some bones and everything. Kind of wipe your mouth clean and adjust your armor a little bit and stealth your way inside the cave. And it's a fairly straight shot for the most part. That it kind of goes in and then it kind of hooks off to the side just slightly and opens up into a much larger chamber. But it doesn't seem to go, as far as caves go, this doesn't look like a very large system. It kind of just opens into kind of a fairly large chamber with a tall ceiling, kind of odd shape overall. And you see laying kind of off in a back corner area, a large mound of fur and feathers. Off to one side, you can see something glowing in the darkness, kind of slightly obscured by a bit of brush and some what you guess might be bones with your dark vision. but something is shedding light equivalent to that of about a candle. Kind of a bright red glow.
Interesting.
Looks like it's something about yay big.
I'm going to quietly back out and make my way towards these three and tell all of them about how. Alright, so it's definitely back there. It has feathers. So you weren't right about the 6 legs, but there's definitely something weird going on.
It has feathers, like it's wearing them, it is them, or it collects them.
There were feathers. And there was.
Do I know? Yeah. Like,
I'll give you an advantage.
would this just be nature, right?
Yeah.
No arcana or anything. Yeah. Ooh. Natural 20 for a 24.
The sheer fact that your teacher, Azariel, was just looking at a skull that fits that kind of description, you get the idea that it's an owlbear.
Oh, this is an owlbear, guys.
Well, I mean, shit, they were right about it being part bear.
So there's an owl, which is distinctly looks like an owl, right? What the hell did we see just a little bit ago?
They don't distinctly look like an owl. They have like, they're bear shaped with feathers with like more of an owl like beak head. But
Yeah,
They're pretty similar to a platypus bear. They're both fur.
So there was also some kind of red glow in the cave, and you could almost say it was candlelight, but the color definitely made it seem not so much like candlelight. I don't know. There was something interesting in there with it.
Possibly magical.
Kira digs in her bag, pulls out a red candle.
Okay.
Like this.
Did it look like that?
No.
Pigeon.
It was,
Maybe.
what you saw was definitely some sort of sphere shaped.
Oh, okay. Maybe. You'll just have to see for yourself, Garrett.
Was it just the one though?
That's a good question. Was it just the one? Or did I not look long enough?
You just saw the one creature and the one glowing object.
Okay, yeah, it was just the one that was sleeping, and then whatever that glowing thing was. That was pretty much all that was in there. From what I saw, I could be wrong.
I wonder why an owlbear would go close to town since it's quite a ways away.
Yeah,
There's food out here. I don't think it needs to go get cows, but
maybe it has something to do with that. Whatever's in there with it.
Maybe it's a special occasion and it wanted steak. I mean, you eat frog legs day after day after day, eventually you're gonna get sick of it.
I mean, you're not wrong, but to specifically travel that far to go all the way there. I don't
But it's
know.
the closest cows, right?
what are we doing about it though? Are we
Yeah,
gonna try and
yes.
take care of it?
Let's kill it.
As you guys are talking, can you give me new stealth checks?
Fair enough.
Now, since I'm talking and not actually moving,
With
do I still get disadvantage, or since we're just like sitting?
I won't give you disadvantage if you sound clear.
Alright, it's a 7.
13.
22.
It's the first one I rolled higher than one stealth.
Oh, actually, that's. It's apparently still completely out.
Well, if we all rush in there at once, overwhelm it, I mean, we did a pretty good job. As long as we attack at the same time.
I mean, you're not wrong. You have a really loud armor. I almost wonder if the 3 of us should get in there and get ready, and then let you come
How far back is the bear in the cave?
we can lure
It's
it
probably
outside.
about
It's not a bad idea.
70 to 80 feet.
Okay, yeah.
70 to 80 feet from here. So, from where we're at right now.
Well, from the
Yeah.
entrance to the
From
cave.
the entrance of
Yeah.
the cave.
Which I mean,
Oh,
so-
it's 70 to 80 feet into the cave.
yeah,
How far away from the cave entrance are we?
Like about 40 feet
yeah. I was gonna say 30 feet or
behind
so.
some rocks.
So it's 110 feet away.
Oh, wow, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you think it would be better to lure it out then instead of trying to fight it in such a small area?
I mean, it's not necessarily evil.
There wasn't really much of a small area.
Well, true, but it's the whole way.
Well, I mean, I didn't
It's-
realize it was that big of a cave, because we can't really see it that far from out here, right?
Yeah, and it has there's like a turn in it so that it would be
Well,
able to see into the
if
chamber.
we can fight it in a confined spot, I can better manage the bear so it doesn't try and get away to you guys.
It's not a bad idea.
I have 2 ideas.
Okay. I had to mentally prepare myself.
One, we don't know for sure the bear's evil. Like, it went out and it ate some cows,
It was
but
salted. What was his name? Old Man Leary?
yeah, but old man O'Leary probably went out there to try and defend his cows, which is reasonable. But we don't know that he's an evil creature, and it is a long ways from town. It's out of the town's jurisdiction.
What does Wikipedia say?
What?
Sorry, never mind.
No, but I mean,
That was my first idea.
Second.
If we are going to fight the bear, I think that our best option is either to get it while it's sleeping or to call it out of the cave and be above the cave entrance and push stuff onto it from above.
I don't think that it's that kind of. You can climb up there and push up on it, right?
I don't know, did you
Not
see me on those
easily.
river rocks? I was really fast.
That's true.
Oh, I think while it's sleeping is the best bet, and it's currently doing that. To counter your first point,
Are you playing the devil's advocate?
no.
It's the horns, man.
I know, right? I had to do it. I had to do it.
It's fiendish advocate. People call wild animals who attack towns for a reason, and if it's coming after the town, just leaving it's not really gonna do anything. It's gonna come back.
We would be
Well-
responsible for any future
Well, for all
action.
We
know
would,
this.
but that's because the animals get a taste for people flesh.
Well, for all
And it
we know
didn't
is
bite
that-
him.
It's gonna take for cow flesh,
Yeah.
and it'll go back for cows.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. For all we know, this isn't an isolated incident. This is just the start of a new hunting ground for him. He's expanding territory.
And if he tells all his friends, we'll be up
It
to our
could be a
necks. probably.
situation.
I
There's
don't
some
know if it
networking
works like
options
that.
there.
Well, always talk to each other, owlbears, something.
We talk to each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Well,
talking about this
sounds-
bear right now, so.
But
We talk, I don't know how much
So,
listening
are we
happens.
gonna do this?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, we do it.
Alright, well,
I think we should.
if the cave's as large as Vic says, and it's sleeping, I think we should try and get in as close to it as we can, as quietly as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Lukien's not the quietest with his armor, but we should still let all of us go with him up front, since he's the toughest of us.
It takes 10 minutes to take heavy armor
I'm
off.
not even gonna entertain that thought.
Hey, he's passed out. We might have the time. Just real quietly.
Just ramble it.
Okay.
So, are we gonna?
You guys doing this?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Alright. Give me
Nervously.
stealth checks. You are moving this time.
Yeah.
First one's natural 20, second one 14.
Oh,
It's not bad.
Pretty good.
Which one of you would like to be in the back?
Me.
Get these trees out of here now.
so 14.
15.
6.
Oh, yeah.
Twins all night.
Yeah. I got a +3. It's not bad. I just.
I have a plus
Not
So you guys go
worst.
stealthing in as best as possible, creeping through the passageway as it kind of narrows and dips and then widens and everything, and just kind of turns this corner, and you see a chamber.
You told me you wanted more roleplay.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said you guys were ridiculous.
Oh, I agree. It's lovely.
7.
Vic,
7.
Luke,
10.
dignified.
Owlbear.
I was one
4
away
to
from a
13.
1.
All right, cut.
Oh,
Digit.
No,
Oh,
no.
yep.
We gotta give you guys descriptions and everything. So.
You?
Alright.
Alright, so you guys creep into this cave, trying to be as quiet as possible. It dips and winds just a little bit. Enter into a chamber, and you see off to the side a groggy but very much awake owlbear kind of rise up and kind of like look in your guys' direction. Kind of looks, reaches up a big fur/feather covered paw, wipes it across its large owl-like face, and then its eyebrows kind of narrow. And have you seen those owls that their face completely transforms? That's what this thing does. It's like kill mode activated,
Who's in my house?
and it just lets out this like strange squawking, howling hoot.
Oh.
And now we're on initiative order.
Kurt.
Oh, I'm first.
Yeah. I
Um,
was like, I'm not Kurt.
I can't actually see it from where I'm at, right? Can I?
No.
Okay, I can't hold movement. I guess I'll take my 5, 10, 20 here. I guess I will cast Scorching Ray.
Alright.
Got it. And that is 3 shots, right?
It
Oh,
is.
right, that's
Only 1 creature, so.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start from highest. 14,
That will hit.
11.
That will not.
Okay,
so
so
you got
1
one.
hit. And it's just straight D10 fire because of all the rates, right? So 4.
2d6.
Oh, it's 2d6. Oops.
Okay.
2d6 per ray.
That's right. 6 points of
better.
fire damage.
Alright. So you go running across the round off to the side, scurrying past people so that you can get in, hearing it growl, so you want to be sure to at least get a shot before everything goes completely wrong. And the first shot goes well wide, the second shot goes well wide as you are now faced with this massive creature. You've seen its skull. The skull you saw wasn't quite as large as what this thing is. But your third shot manages to hit it, and it singes some of the feathers, and it just kind of looks at its shoulder. Its head kind of rotates back over to you in that creepy, weird, swoopy owl fashion.
weird, you know.
Alright.
Alright, after Kurt, it is Kira.
Alright, Kira, what are you doing?
Kira is going to move forward. 5, 10, 15.
Did you count doubles against people, or did you have an opening?
5, 10, 15.
The opening
Get
would
it,
still be
get
the
it.
extra.
Okay.
So I will cast spiritual weapon
Okay.
and summon up a.
Does your spiritual weapon supposed to form?
Aside.
Yeah.
It's for your
Think
spiritual
about
weapon.
Yeah, it's a scythe, but it is an upgraded scythe. This
Yeah.
scythe has flowers around the hilt.
Nice.
It's not a sickle like she's carrying, it's like a giant actual, like, scythe.
Oh, okay.
And it will attack from right to my wisdom modifier and
It's your
Your
spell
spell
attack modifier,
spell attack modifier.
which is wisdom and proficiency, so. Or,
So 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Then it does a d8 plus my wisdom, so 7 points.
Alright.
And for my action, I will shoot the bear.
Alright.
And I will roll a natural 1.
So you go to bring the crossbow up. You actually like fire about halfway as you're getting it
Nice.
up, so it just
Nice.
kind of ricochets off the floor and up
Up and
into the
roll.
ceiling.
Poor trigger discipline.
Yep. And then 5, 10, back this way.
All right, who's next?
Next, it is the owlbear.
All right, the owlbear, in a rage, goes rushing forward, moving up to 40 feet towards the closest target.
So 25 feet to Lukien.
Oh no, who would have
Can I have
guessed?
saving throws, please?
Yeah, you can just use my one. I'm not
And
using
it will lash out with a claw, getting an armor class of 26.
That is a hit, yes.
That's why you're in front, homie.
For 16 points of slashing damage. And then it will reach down with its massive beak-like maw and try to bite you. hitting an armor class of 12.
Miss.
You throw up your shield to swipe away its massive beak, still bleeding from the tears in your chest.
It is now Lukien's turn.
Woo!
Good God, bottom of the town.
Alright. I will attempt to swing back at it.
Alright.
11.
Alright. So you thrust the spear forward and it just kind of swats it away with a massive feathered paw.
Okay.
You have to hit in order to mark it?
Yeah. Oh, he's a second window, right? Two? Yeah, action surge.
I know, I thought the same thing. Well, now that it's up close, I'm just gonna appropriately aim and fire. That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
And there's another enemy within 5 feet. So we get sneak attack. 9 plus 5, 14 points piercing damage.
Nice.
Yes.
Alright, so you kind of see it come forward, aim slightly higher as it draws closer, and release, and it pegs it right in the shoulder, ruffling some of the feathers, and you see a spray of blood, and it kind of pulls down the front, but it doesn't seem to be too overly impacted as it still continues to rage on.
Initiative. Vic,
22.
Lukien,
10.
Owlbear,
11.
Vicqinor,
Oh.
Owlbear on deck.
I guess with the adrenaline of what's happening, I'm just gonna pull out another arrow and do the same exact thing. That one's gonna be 18 to hit.
That will hit.
And then I get the same exact bonus. Ooh, better. 12, 5, 17 points piercing damage this time.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. And
Alright, so you-
turn.
Loose the arrow and it pierces kind of in the lower abdomen, and it howls out, and it will shuffle around so that it can basically, can it get in between you and Lukien?
I think it can actually scoop kind of right here in front of all of
Get
us.
Yeah,
everybody.
I can get everyone right.
We're in that perfect spread angle
You have
right
it.
now.
Alright, so it moves around, and as it's moving around, it swipes at you, Lukien, with a massive claw. We'll hit an armor class of 17.
Miss.
As it rakes across your shield, but its beak goes lunging in at the archer.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's gonna hit an armor class of 25.
Oh yeah.
And so it bites into you.
You're after me, and I'm
It's
thinking
12
the-
points of piercing damage as it reaches down, snaps into you, and just kind of shakes back and forth and rears back.
Oh god. Oh god.
Next.
After Vic, it is the owlbear. After the owlbear, it is Lukien.
Alright,
That hurt a
Lukien.
lot.
I'm gonna attempt to stab
You
it.
have to be like, oh my God.
12.
24.
That will hit.
Okay, so I'm gonna use unwavering mark.
Okay.
So I did.
Wow, that was dramatic.
9 damage. I'm going to use action surge to attempt to swing again for 20
That will also hit.
for another 7 points of damage.
Alright, good job. So you thrust in and get the owlbear's attention as you pierce deep, kind of underneath into the armpit and into the ribs. Pierce deep and pull it back, and thrust in again. Not quite hitting quite as deep, but definitely hitting your mark. And you pull back, and the owlbear is just looks at you, eyes glowing, these embers of flame. But he does look pretty rough.
So
Next.
Kira's turn. Kira is going to point at the owlbear. She's going to say in Infernal, "We're gonna kill you." And then she will activate her Grave Domain to make the next attack the vulnerability on
Okay.
it.
Oh.
And then she will bonus action, because it's an action to activate that, bonus action healing word Vic.
Alright.
So you take
And the nice thing is that's a lot of HP for me no matter what.
Is moving your deal for your action?
It's a bonus.
No.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bonus action to move and attack the spiritual
Yeah, but
weapon.
I figure with him down to 3 points, it's probably
So what'd you give me?
7 hit points back. That's max for me.
Oh my, and that's almost max health for me.
Does Unwavering Mark give disadvantage to creatures attacking things that aren't you?
Yes,
Okay.
squish.
Okay, Kurt's turn.
Kurt is going to move out of melee with it, so the owlbear will get an attack of opportunity.
At disadvantage.
Disadvantage. That's good. That was at a disadvantage. That was a natural 20.
That would have been, you would have
Followed up
died.
with a 12 for a 19.
That still hits.
So I get a bonus attack in my next
Mhm.
turn.
You do.
So,
I'm not dead.
so 9 points of slashing damage as you go past it. It just kind of sweeps out at you, raking across you.
We never slept after the bugs, right?
No,
No,
still
we had a short
same
rest.
day.
Yeah, same day. Okay. Alright, no problem.
Which means you're
Hellish Rebuke didn't
Yeah.
return. That's fine. I am going to use my last second spell slot to Scorching Ray again.
okay.
I will roll these separately since it is
Yeah, the first one will be the one
it's
that.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I want a 20 on this one.
Nope. Does a 14 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So this one will be
Damage.
This one will be double damage still. So 16 points of fire damage.
Yes. Nice.
And then
2 more. Oh yeah.
20 and a 21.
okay.
Nice. So that's 46 more.
15 more points of fire damage.
It's a good bundle of rays there.
31.
Alright. So as you go running across it, it slashes out at you and it kind of catches you in the back. And you feel the blood dribbling down. You turn, release the first bolt, and the fire hits it, and you see it reel in agony. And then your next 2 bolts, how do you want to do this?
That's good.
I guess. I don't know. I guess as it reels in pain and it's like winged bear claws come out, I just want to get 1 bolt through each shoulder. Just kind of.
Alright. So you release 1 bolt into each shoulder, causing it to, like, its fur and feathers to be completely singed and destroyed in the back. And it, like, screeches out and falls forward, landing heavily on the ground.
Well, I definitely moved out of the way.
I think I'm probably the only person who makes you roll for that shit.
I mean, just with how big it is and how close I was
Yeah.
going to either way.
As it lays there and you can smell the burnt fur and feathers, but all is silent.
Oh god, that hurt.
We did it!
Thanks, Kira. Oh my god. Now I know what old man Larry went through. Oh.
I feel like an old man.
No, I just know what he went through. Holy shit, those claws hurt. Oh.
How
That,
many points do you have left?
I have half.
How many points do you have?
14.
10 out of 15.
8 out of 17.
Okay, so you guys are all about half.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like we're camping in a cave.
So, what are you guys gonna do now?
I kind of want to investigate the glowing thing since I'm pretty sure it's magical.
100%.
So give me an investigation check. Who else is investigating the cave?
I want to take the head, 2 claws, and 25 feathers.
What?
I would like to go over to my spiritual weapon and go off into a corner with it. Just have a good conversation.
Okay.
And then I would like to sit down. Because I want to sit down and I want to have the scythe across my lap. And just kind of sit there and pet it, arrange its flowers until it disappears after a full minute. And then I will shift into ritually casting Detect Magic.
Okay.
I feel like we're going to get, to know each other. Just seems appropriate to talk it over.
I've seen it with animals. It's
What did
just.
you get on your investigation?
A natural 20 for a total of 26.
Okay.
I only got a 16.
Alright. Well, between the two of you, this is what you find in the cave. You find 1,400 copper pieces.
Oh, that's a lot of copper.
Somebody's been looting. No, he hasn't been looting. It's probably just all the random crap.
It's all in the cow system. Sucks in the
You
magnets.
guys ready?
Yep.
900 silver pieces.
Okay.
70 gold pieces.
Okay.
A small vial of cloudy green liquid that with what may be a tiny jellyfish floating in it.
Oh, don't drink the worm.
So why
Relatively plain but very finely crafted longsword.
Okay.
60 feet of very fine, pristine silk rope. A gray leather satchel with a green spiraling thorn vine pattern on the closing flap of it. And an oak staff topped with a glowing red crystal sphere.
And would that sphere be the light? Okay.
You also find a number of different bones and everything in here. Looking about, you suspect that there are at least two humanoid the remains of at least two humanoids in here.
I know the locals decently well, but I don't know squat about medical stuff. Kira, will you help me? You work with the dead people a lot. Can we see if we know who these people are at all?
Sure.
Yeah.
I would like to go through the bones and basically, not like dental records clearly, but see if there's something that stands out about them, like a busted cheek or a family necklace or...
Okay, give me a medicine check.
I suck at medicine.
15.
15.
Or maybe even how long they've been here.
You get an idea that these bones have been in here for many years, at least 20.
I think that thing was sleeping for a long time because these bones have been down here for like 20 years.
Okay, so these probably aren't like recent people or something.
Well,
We could take them to Adel and she could ask them.
Kurt, with your check, you not only find the remains of these people, but you also find a section of one of the back walls that looks like it has collapsed in probably around the same time frame that these people died. And there is another body that is underneath that. You can basically see an arm, skeletal arm kind of sticking out from underneath it. And on one of the stones that you see that is basically for the collapse, you see etched into it a symbol of what looks like maybe a mine pick and the letter M.
Does any of that, does the mind pick or any of that seem like familiar? No.
Give me a history check.
19.
19. You have seen the mine pick with the M symbol before. It is a reference to an old mining claim. There was like a single miner, and that was the symbol that he used for any of his claims. It wasn't like a mining company or anything like that.
Hey, there's another body under here, and this pick, it's familiar. I think it's that guy who, it's like a relatively known miner who's claimed a lot of stuff in the mountains here before.
Do you want to make a
pull them out?
local history check
What's that?
using your ability that you have?
I do want to use that. And that's a 6.
Something tickles the back of your mind about it. Something important, but you don't know it.
I would have to hit the books on this one.
but there's definitely something that you remember
What?
something important that you remember specifically from one of the older people told you a story, but you can't remember.
You should probably start paying attention.
Can we try and move some of these rocks that collapsed on them?
Go for it.
Um,
I'm not a strong person.
I don't know.
me either.
I don't know if. So we can tell it's this guy's claim because the symbol's on the rock. I don't know if that's him though.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to put them to rest.
Maybe like
You say the symbol was on a rock or on the pick?
On a rock.
It was on a rock.
It's a symbol that was basically carved into one of the stones.
I've got a crowbar.
Hey, there we go. Can I get the crowbar and attempt to dislodge him, or?
Yeah. Give me an athletics check.
Crowbar
Crowbar
gives you
gives you
advantage.
advantage.
Yep.
Natural 20 for 26.
Nice. Yeah, you pry away the stones and everything, and it collapses in just a little bit more. Some of the stones that are up above that you couldn't see tumble down, but it winds up leaving an opening that goes deeper into the earth. Opening that is very obviously not natural.
Like, mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is actually carved from the stone itself.
Should we check it out?
Does it look... Can we tell which direction it was mined? Like, was it mined from the cave that way, or did they come out into the cave?
Is this the entrance or exit?
I just...
Intelligence.
Yeah, I was gonna say intelligence.
It would be-
If you were a stonemason or a miner, I would give you.
Like, whatever the stone...
I have
Yeah,
stone
but it-
masonry.
You wanna assist her? Or you wanna assist him?
I'm proficient in it, which gives me a +2.
You're proficient in nature?
No, not nature. It'd be
Right.
the
Stone
The stone
masonry.
mason.
I think that it's an innie. Like I think it's an indoor because it's got the symbol on the outside, right?
Oh,
Why don't you
are you
do the-
helping me?
Yeah, I'll assist.
Okay. So if it's just straight intelligence, it'll be 19.
Yeah, it looks like went in.
It went in, so this was the entrance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you wouldn't put a sign on the exit door. Unless you put the sign on the exit door on
Well,
the inside, so you
I mean,
wouldn't
I
get out.
thought that maybe they bust into the owlbear's home and then it ate them afterwards. So
Probably. He's a big eater.
Well, it could be the other way around, and it could actually be a just complete coincidence. What if the miners ended up getting trapped here, which is why you found them stuck in there, and then at a completely other random time, the owlbear showed up and found some free food and a free home.
Yeah, how old is the owlbear? Because maybe
Make a
medicine check?
nature.
Nature?
Yeah.
Medicine check would tell you he's dead. Don't worry.
6.
I'm not sure. You don't know
But
that
I don't think
about
it's
owlbears.
20.
Well, I'm not sure. I was just making an
Did
assumption.
you do your investigation roll to find a pouch underneath the rocks?
Oh yeah, sir. Did the guy in the rocks have any equipment on him? Investigation is a 1.
He's all you really find is the arm. Everything else seemed to have been like completely pulverized by the weight of the rocks.
That's true.
It's
You do see bits of tattered bits of like really old rotted cloth and leather, like might have been like belts and like shirt and pants and that kind of stuff, but you don't see any kind of gear like a backpack or
I
anything like
forget.
that.
Here, did you figure out how long these guys have been dead?
20 years, give or take?
It was 20 years? Oh, a while ago? Okay.
What about my detect magic?
Oh yeah.
The vial, the finely crafted longsword, the 60 feet of silk rope, the gray leather satchel, and the oak staff all are magical.
Okay.
So everything.
Well, yeah, everything except the money, I guess.
Yeah.
The mining pick's not magical though, right? It's just a mining pick?
Well, it was just a symbol
It's
of
just a
mine,
symbol.
they carved into the
Oh,
symbol.
the
picture
symbol
of
is-
it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Got
I
it.
was right there with you the
Yeah,
whole
for some reason I
time.
thought the guy had a mining pick there.
No,
Yeah, we
it
thought
was
it
a
was-
symbol of a pick
Got
with
it.
an M next to it.
I thought it was an M on a pick.
I thought there was an M on a stone with a pick laying there next to it.
We had the right materials.
Like, so what time of day is it?
That's what I
It
was.
is
Late.
early afternoon.
Oh, okay, early afternoon.
2:30.
I
Yeah,
thought it was a little bit later, more towards like 4.
because you guys crossed the river. It was roughly noon.
Are we thinking
Then you
of
took
going?
an hour break, so that's 1. So it's
Yeah.
probably about 2.
And then, the time it took us to sneak
Are we
up,
thinking
we still
about
chat. Yeah.
like trying to explore down there? Do we want to camp in the cave before we do that?
I'll admit, I'm curious. I want to go further in.
How many nests are in this cave?
I'll admit to a polite interest.
1.
That's good.
We don't want to find out that Mama Bear was out hunting. This is actually the baby.
Either way, if you guys want to figure it out, I can sit down and try and figure these out. It's gonna take me, a bit, like what, just 5 of them? It's gonna be like almost an hour just to figure this out.
Pass that to you then so you can mark them as you go.
I can, I guess, go peek ahead into the little new opening. I won't go too far though, if it's going to take you about an hour, because I don't want you to interrupt or wake something up, So I'll scout ahead, I suppose.
I guess
Okay, so you're going to start ritually casting
identify.
Identify.
Mhm.
All right. And here, since you were going to be casting the spell, when I come to you, you can tell people what
What they are.
you got.
Yep.
Or you can be Liam.
So you
about it.
are you going stealth in, or are you just going to walk in and check it out?
Let's see. It has been closed off for a while, but there was an owlbear here, so I think I will be stealthy about it.
Okay.
Just for the sake of safety. That's gonna be a 12.
All right. So you go stealthing in and creeping along. Give me a perception check while you're at it.
I'm not that good at this. As I roll a 17 for a 19.
All right. So you go sneaking off into the darkness. The passageway is narrow. I mean, your shoulders at points will scrape against the stone on both sides as you kind of make your way through. But eventually, it kind of opens up into a broader passageway. It's a little bit more cleanly cut, and you go a little bit deeper, and you've traveled maybe 70, 80 feet into the stone, and it's steadily going downwards. It is just widened out to a point where it's about 5 feet across and about 7 feet tall.
Okay, so slowly got bigger, so it wasn't snug on me. Now it's kind of comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're kind of making your way in, and you come into an open chamber. It looks like most of it was like stuff that was dug out, so it's like relatively carved walls, but nothing particularly regular. It wasn't shaped to be a room or anything like that. It was just dug out of the stone and stuff. And you see there's like an old iron bucket with some really badly rotted like hemp rope. There's a sledgehammer, the handle of which is mostly rotted away, but the actual the iron head of it is rusty but functional. A pick and a couple of shovels, all of them in basic same state as the sledgehammer. You see there is a wooden box that's somewhat intact, and you open it up and you look inside and you see that there are iron spikes about a foot long or so.
Okay.
It's almost wedge-like taper, like a about a foot long railroad spike type thing.
Okay.
And see, there's probably about 24 or so of those. There's an old block and tackle, which is the pulley system for like using the ropes and stuff like that, but it's just laying in one of the crates. It's in pretty poor shape. You wouldn't trust it to actually hold any significant weight.
Okay.
There is also a backpack off to one side. It's leather, and it's got looks like some old clothing that's obviously not in any kind of usable state. But there's clothing, a blanket, a satchel that you think one time might have had rations in it, but you're not really willing to
Nope.
take a taste test
Nope.
to verify. A water skin that has something in it, some sort of liquid in it, but it doesn't smell like water. It smells almost like turpentine. It's pretty rancid and pretty strong smelling.
Yeah, I'll leave that too then.
And then there's like a cot, but the cot is like completely worn out and just useless.
Okay,
You also find about a half dozen oil lanterns, tin ones. They're basically made out of tin that are kind of cracked and not really all that useful. A couple of them still have oil in them, but you
Still
don't think it
flammable.
would it wouldn't work very well as an actual lantern. The oil would still burn.
So it's pretty safe to say that looking at all this, that this was probably like where they were primarily mining and they just got lost to time. That's kind of what it seems like.
But there are 4 passageways that lead out.
Okay.
And they look like they run parallel to one another down the wall opposite of where you entered in at.
I mean, if I can maybe see down them from here, but I'm not going to go down any of them. This is as far as I'm going to go before I
They
try to
seem to
buy.
run, from what you can see just at the range of your dark vision, you can see that they run mostly parallel, but they do slowly kind of fan out away from one another. So there's like a passageway, like 4 in a row, but they just kind of
They slowly
slowly,
start to split.
yeah,
Okay.
fan out into different directions. One of them, the one on the far left passageway, goes maybe about 30 feet and then just ends in a pile of rubble.
Okay.
Down the one on the far right, you look down there and you can't see much more than maybe about just to the edge of your dark vision, but it's something kind of cloudy and wafting is down that direction.
Okay.
Almost like maybe there's fabric or something hanging from the ceiling or walls.
Okay. And then what about one of them? Is there anything like significant from the middle 2 tunnels at all, or just kind of
Yeah,
nothing?
they just kind of go off into darkness.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I'm not really gonna pick anything up. I'm gonna leave everything as it is because I'm worried that if I touch half of this, it's gonna like disintegrate or some shit.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and take all this in for a moment, get a good look at everything that's here because it is a lot to take in. Plus, it's a cool site.
Did you want to do an actual investigation, or did you just want to go based off of what you picked up with just your perception?
Yeah, more of just that to kind of take it to memory so I can relay it to everyone when I get back.
Okay.
I'll do the investigation with that
So
later.
while he's gone, what are you doing?
Well, I'm dismembering the owler.
Oh, give me a survival check. See how well you can do this without making a big mess.
Survival is wisdom 5.
You get it, but the head is not the cleanest of salvages that you would have gotten from it.
Spirit
You only
fly great.
wound up with about maybe 18 good feathers.
Okay.
You have the others, but they're kind of bent. Some of they're not exactly as nice as you would have liked.
Can I?
You were taking the claws too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those you get fairly. You just basically chop off the ends of the fingers.
Kira doesn't have anything specific that she wants to do during the interim. Can I assist and help get the rest of the feathers that he wants?
Sure. Give me a survival check.
Would that be survival or medicine? Because I dissect things for a living.
I'll allow it.
Good, because 11.
Yeah, you get the rest of the feathers that he's looking for. You managed to get
this.
just enough.
Yeah.
You have to think like turkey, right? It would be easier if we could boil it first. Because if we could boil it first, then the feathers would come out real easy.
Just so you know, Vic's already mildly squeamish, and I'm pretty sure he had no clue you were doing that when he went in this tunnel. So he's gonna come back to a half-dissected owlbear.
Bald.
In the cave that you guys were going camping.
Yes, like...
At least it's at the entrance of the cave.
We could drag it to the entrance as a warning.
Yeah.
That'll keep the
Don't mess with
other.
us, owlbears.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to you at this point.
Alright. So the potion, the bottle with the liquid in it is a potion of water breathing. You can, after you drink this potion, you can breathe underwater for, I think it's about roughly an hour.
can't breathe underwater. That's pretty neat.
I mean, it's just a one-use thing. You drink it when you're done, though. It's not a permanent water breathing. The sword, it's a very nice sword, but it's just a magical one that does a little bit more damage.
Cool.
The rope is a rope of climbing, so it can hold up to 3,000 pounds, so it can hold a lot. And if you hold one in the rope and speak a command word, it animates, and you can command it to move. It can move 10 feet, like around, basically. So, you can also tell it to fasten itself to an object, like tie itself to something. So you can tell it to like go up things.
So it's a smart rope.
Yeah.
I rope.
And if you tell the rope to knot, knots will appear a foot apart on the rope, and you can climb
It's
it.
a bit thick.
Yeah.
Oh god, what comes out?
The bag is a bag of holding.
Oh, is that one of those magical ones that holds like so much more than it looks like it could?
Yeah.
Good, because this money's heavy.
It can hold up to about 500 pounds.
Well, we've got 14 gold worth of copper here. So,
And then it only weighs 15 pounds itself.
Does the thorns mean anything? Like the design of it?
No,
I think it's a warning.
just
like,
decoration.
Don't stick your hand in this. There's thorns in it.
That's true. There'll be a lot of thorns in there, 500 pounds of thorns.
Yeah.
That's a lot of thorns. Or porcupines.
Ooh, that would be painful.
And the staff is the staff of the evoker. It's a magic staff that has, it looks like the crystal sphere is always showing light. So,
You have to get a cap for it.
but it makes spells that you cast while using it, makes it easier to manage them, like to target them, and it makes them a little more powerful.
Ooh.
And it also has spells in it, contained in it as well.
Can it heal?
No.
Oh.
Wizards and they don't generally heal.
I just wasn't sure.
Evocation magic
Well,
is not healing magic.
I didn't know which kind of magic it was.
Staff of the evoker. Evocation.
Well, but you could evoke like a deity, right? To heal?
And that's invoke.
Ah, shit. She was so sure.
Yeah, just like how this elder had 6 legs, right? And
To be
antlers.
fair, it could have had wings. Like,
It
it's
did.
got feathers. Vestigial wings would still count as limbs. Vestigial?
There's no eye. You were right.
Vestigial.
No second eye.
Okay.
I mean. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm the only one who can actually use the staff, so I think I'm gonna take the staff.
Sure.
I'm still not there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he doesn't need it back yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the sword.
Get the sword. It doesn't require attunement, so you can use it as is.
So that leaves 2 things, right?
3 things.
3 things.
The potion of water breathing, it's not going to be super useful.
I think the potion of water breathing should go into the bag of holding. Can you put magic inside of magic?
As long as it's not another extra dimensional space.
Because that way it doesn't get smashed, right?
Um,
Because it would be glass, it would be inside the bag. So it would be safer than putting it in our pockets.
I mean, it would be just as safe in any bag.
Theoretically.
Um,
Can I tie the sword to my spear?
Hey,
Spear
you
plus
miss
1.
100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right.
Very true.
So you got the sword,
Yep.
you got the staff.
I
I think the rope would be great for Vic.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
figured when Vic comes back, we could talk about which one he wants more.
Speaking of which, you come crawling your way back up out of that hole.
Managed to not be disgusted at the sight of the elder.
or at least hold it
you're
in.
alive.
Do I want to know what happened to the owlbear while I was gone?
Trophies, spellcasting components.
Yeah.
He's going to seriously question why he hangs out with them for a second.
Cause you love us. Look, magic rope,
Magic rope.
magic bag, and magic shots.
What about the potion with the jellyfish? What was going on there?
That's the magic shots.
It allows you to breathe underwater for an hour if you drink it.
And that translates to magic shot to you?
It is shot size in a vial, and you drink it once and then it's done.
Your logic astounds me.
It's
I'm
accurate.
definitely fascinated by that rope, though.
Thank you.
The rope does not require attunement, so you can
Freely have fun with it.
really have fun with it. And you also have advantage while climbing using it when you have it with knots.
Making a dungeon with a BDSM chapter and one of those in it.
And because of second story work, I gain the ability to climb faster than normal, and climbing is no extra movement. So that's just unnecessary on top of that.
And it's 60 foot long, so
That's awesome.
Okay, so rope, staff, sword,
I
Bag.
mean,
bag.
bag, yeah.
I'd like to think
Put all the
that.
stuff into the bag.
Okay,
How much
so-
does a single 50
Sandy
coins
carries
wear
it.
a pound? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tie the sword to Sandy.
so
Sandy keeps it.
Yeah. Take it to the no. I'll strap it to her leg so she kicks out.
So, like the chick from Kingsman.
Yeah.
You could do the old school knife shoe, but you know, but on a horse.
Tap,
It'll-
tap, stab.
It'll hurt itself.
Alright, so
I think that there was a lot of stuff down there, and I'll begin explaining at least a lot of the basic stuff I saw. But when it comes to the tunnels, there were a couple of set of tunnels there. I didn't want to actually venture into them because I had already traveled a ways away from you guys. But there were 4 distinct tunnels. I think they were the paths they were working on mining. The one on the left definitely had nothing in it. Didn't see anything in the middle two. And on the right one, there was something interesting. Almost looked like maybe a clothesline or just some kind of cloth. I wasn't quite sure, but there was something down that one. On top of all the cool stuff that was already in there.
I wonder if these guys were running from something when it collapsed on them.
If there was something bigger down below.
Yeah.
How big was the tunnel? Like taller than you?
Are they? I don't fully remember. Are you talking about the little tunnels?
Well,
Or the
the tunnels
one I went
for the
through.
where the thing would have been chasing them.
No, the whole pathway through, it's actually a little tight. I kind of had to just
So the
barely get
owlbear
through
would come
until no, definitely
Oh.
not.
It was small and neat. Or was it a snake? Because they fit in small spaces.
Is that a
They
snake
can.
bear?
I don't like that.
His roar.
I think we should investigate it further as a group, if you guys want to, though.
We should probably rest for a bit first.
Definitely.
That's a good idea. Do we want to camp out here in this cave? Looks at the owl there.
Well, we can eat the owlbear.
Looks at you more horrified.
I mean, it ate a cow, so it's pretty much gonna taste
You
like
are what
cow.
you eat.
That's why I want to get chickens and feed them Doritos.
Oh
For like
my
6 months.
god. It's a corn-based product. That's fucking brilliant.
I know, then the chicken will have Dorito chicken. We'll make $1 million.
I'm gonna sit my camp
When you're
up
at your favorite
out of
Starbucks.
the owl there.
I don't think it quite pricks.
I think we should go down to the river and go fishing. Because it's a nice day out, right? It's still sunny.
Wasn't it just a muddy river? Like,
Well, it sounded like a real river.
I think it was there was muddy water at the marsh, and then there was an actual river that we had to cross right before we got here. That was still outside of the marsh. So yeah, there's definitely a river. I don't know if it's fishable, but yes, there's a river.
alright. So you each get 375 experience points.
Nice.
It's under my pencil.
And then next session we'll pick up from here, and you guys can decide whether or not you're going to, now that you've actually dealt with the owlbear, if you're going to go back to town, or if you guys want to actually venture further into the
Okay.
this lost mine.
I mean, Vic will accept if we don't want to, but he's pretty nosy and curious.
Did you guys have fun?
Yes.